The truth got me thinking about it. Lames and hoes. Can't stand the 5150 show. Lames and hoes. Man, I can't believe it. Angry Man 2? Angry Man 2? Good Lord. Angry Man piling on. People care about what Hispanic bitch is saying now about Corey Hook. What is going on? The hate continues to pile on. It's crazy work. It's absolute crazy work. But it is what it is. Angry Man 2. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Chill. Yeah, my bad. Pyro says you made me miss the stream. He's joking, guys. But man, this is crazy work. What's happening right? This crazy work. What's happening to brother Corey Holcomb? Crazy work. Crazy work. Sorry, I'm looking at a video right now. I was looking at because I guess Corey dropped another video real quick, see if it was going to be relevant to what I was saying. But nah, that wasn't going to be relevant. But man, I couldn't believe it. I'm sitting there on my YouTube. One of the people I actually kind of like in this space. I don't watch his content all the time, but I like what he has to say from time to time. Angry Man. I'm seeing Angry Man basically, man, that's it for Corey Holcomb. You guys don't understand, man. That's it. Like I told you, it's all black male content creators. All black male content creators. The only one that has stayed the only one that has stayed solid is Fawcett Media. Crazy work. This is you know what, I'm so sorry. I'll say this when it comes to Fawcett Media. I apologize because I wouldn't have thought out of all these niggas out here, you'd be the only one to stay solid. You know what I mean? Shout out to Fawcett Media, man. Because I see what's happening. It's straight. They're just trying to throw stuff at him. They're just throwing random stuff at Corey Holcomb. And yesterday's live stream, I told you what's gonna happen now, since everything they're still throwing the other stuff at him. It's not really working as they want. Now they're trying to make him look like he's a predator. So they're trying to make it look like he's a predator by showing clips from all of Corey Holcomb's old episodes completely out of context. And you're seeing, and people are just falling for it, hook, line, and sinker. Well, sorry, not people. I'm saying black people are falling for it, hook, line, and sinker. And it's actually pretty disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Shout out to Kenneth in the chat. Let me see. He said, I haven't seen these clips before. Not sure if they're jokes or statements spliced together. Oh, so I don't know. Let me see, because it's just one specific clip, because I didn't save it, because I low-key don't even really want to show it. But if I could find it, it's an old episode, and Corey Holcomb was talking about the stuff, basically the stuff I've been talking about on this channel when we talk about the age of consent. I've said this all the time, where you know people in America, they'll trip over like a older dude dating a younger woman, and it's because women are very insecure of younger women. So America, we have the highest consent, like when it comes to like sexual consent. Like we have like the highest age when it comes to we have like literally some of the highest ages when it comes to age of consent in the world, right? 18. And I used to talk about this all the time on this channel. Everywhere else is literally like 16 and even younger, unfortunately, you know. But in America, we're taught a different we're taught a different way of things, right? And we're just taught our way is just right. But there's a lot of things that we do in America is actually very wrong. And the clip that's kind of going viral, that was part of what Corey Holcomb was talking about, where he was making that distinction that basically in Iceland, or even really in every other countries, you don't have to wait that long, right? And his point was, just because they live that way doesn't make us right and them wrong. That's all he was saying. But they've took that, because they're not gonna, like I said, when if they want to make you look bad, they're not gonna give you the full episode of the live stream. Notice the people that are sharing that reel, they're not giving you the full live stream, because that episode, that's from about 2 or 3 years ago. It's probably, I think that clip is about 3 years old, but they're not gonna give you the full live stream and then show you, okay, at minute this is where he said this statement. They're not gonna say that, because it's gonna dilute the point. Even if I'm doing a critique video of somebody, I will always bring up the full live stream. So I'll say, look, if you want to watch the full live stream, this is the clip, this is the full live stream, this is the full context, right? But these are the things that they're trying to do to Corey Holcomb right now. They found out, they dropped the video on him. That didn't work in terms of him putting his hands on the broad, him muffing the broad. That didn't work because he's already been to court with that. They got other people to just be like, "Oh, he's wrong for doing this. He's wrong for doing that." That still hasn't worked. They try to get the bitch to come back on TMZ. That didn't work. Right now, they're trying to say that there was a gun on him. That didn't work. They're doing all these. I don't know if you know. They're doing all these things, that they're trying to cancel his gigs. They're trying to make him look bad. They're saying that he punt. This still that doesn't work. Now they're trying to add on more things. This is usually what they do. They just pile on more things. Oh, did you see the clip when he said this? Did you see? I'm like, yeah, I already saw these. I watched I watched every single Corey Holcomb live stream ever since I'll say since 2017, 2018, where I can say I watched every single live stream. Yeah, I've seen all of these clips. So yeah, now they're just basically clip farming him, trying to make him look like the bad guy, and then hopefully they can bring up a charge on him. Now it's not going to be easy, because popular to contrary to popular belief, he's actually not a criminal. Corey Holcomb doesn't have a criminal record. Because if you, like I said, if you have a criminal record, you could be like, you could, all of your stuff, even if you've been to jail even if you had to spend the night on a little fender bender, it's gonna be it's gonna be logged in. He doesn't have a criminal record. So it's not gonna be as easy as they thought. Now he's been to court. Niggas been to court. He's been to family court, right? He's been to court in general, but he doesn't have a criminal record. So it's not gonna be that easy to bury him. You see, they looked at what they looked Anton Daniels and his handlers and his agents and his connections to TMZ and all these evil people, they looked at Corey Holcomb and they like, oh, this is just an ignorant big black ninja. This should be pretty easy, but it's not as easy as they thought. Right? They thought all we got to do is just do this and then just show the video and his career will be over. That's usually what it takes for ninjas. Just show a video out of context and their career's over. But it's a lot more complicated than that. That happens to me too. People think they're gonna hem me up with something, then they try to do something to me, then they realize I have no criminal record. I'm completely clean. And then they basically will just whatever, they'll leave me alone and they'll just leave it up to rumors and just call me a weirdo behind my back. But that's it. So like I said, there's nothing there. Kenneth says, I'm assuming he was making an age of consent joke or something and people edited it and showed it to make it look bad. No, he was he was just giving an education. I told you, people, they get too uncomfortable when it comes to, talking about the age of consent. They don't want to be seen as a predator, even though young women tend to sleep and protect their predators. Like these be like, you'll have women like they'll talk about how back in the day they slept with older drug dealers and how they were predators, and I'll be like, okay, can you give me the names of these people? They will never give up the names of their drug dealers that they slept with, or their tattoo artists, or their whatever, the teacher that they slept with to get ahead of the game, the supervisor that they slept with when they were 17 and then the supervisor was 35. I'm like, okay, so can we get the name? No? Oh, okay. Then never mind. So I don't know why men are afraid to have those uncomfortable conversations. I've had these conversations on my channel all the time, right? It's just part of reality. America, we have the highest 18, right? Even though most states is 16, but there's obviously constrictions with that. I'm talking about the rest of the world, it's like 16 highest, right? I think in Britain it's like 16 highest. So, and then basically the rest of the world is 15, 14. I often mention the example of Brazil. There was a Brazilian story that went viral a couple years ago. I think about 5 years ago, it went viral on World Star. It was the janitor was in his mid 20s or late 20s. Yeah, he was like 26. Yes, yeah, yes. The janitor was 26. The female was 15 or 14. I think she was 14 or 15. She was either one of these ages. She had died of a heart attack because she was sleeping with this dude, right? All consensual, by the way. She was sleeping with this dude and she got a heart attack and she died. So the headline read, 15-year-old Brazilian girl dies after having sex with her boyfriend, whatever, the 26-year-old boyfriend. And you could tell the international divide in the comment section and the reactions. So all the people internationally, like worldwide, are like, damn, that's sad for the girl. She had such a young life ahead of her. And then all the Americans were like, wait a minute, she's 14 and the guy's 26, or she was 15, the guy's 26, right? And but people don't know, in Brazil, the age of the age of consent over there is like 14 or 15 years old, right? So it would basically be like in America if a guy that was like 30 years old was messing with an 18-year-old. That's basically how it would have been if this was in American terms. If that same guy, whatever, the janitor, if he lived in America, he would have been brought up to be taught that 18 is the age of consent. So his girlfriend would have been either 18, 19, or 20 years old, right? So I often mention it because I often mention that story because it was funny seeing the Americans in the comments section. They didn't they didn't know. They had no idea. Now, is it wrong? Okay, from my vantage point, it may be wrong, but that's because I've been brought up in America. I've been brought up that 18 is the age of consent. That's how I was brought up. But that guy in Brazil, he was brought up a different way. You know what I mean? There's a certain way they do things. Now, just because we have high ages of consent doesn't mean we're not a piece of shit country. Because remember, we're the only country that be siding with Israel when they be doing nonsense. And I'm talking about like the rest of I'm talking about most countries in the world do not fuck with Israel. Let's keep it real. We're not even gonna say, well, fuck. I'll mention that country one time. Most countries in the world, when it comes to policies or how they do things, they do not mess with the small hat country. Do you know who be side by side agreeing with everything that the small hat country be doing? America. Right side by side along, no matter how much hate that small hat country gets, America is always step in step with the small hats. So all this stuff about morals and what we need to be doing and protecting girls, whatever. I will say this: young women in America, they have the most protection. I'm talking about in the history of the planet. I'm talking about in the history of the planet. Young women haven't been more protected, more sheltered, more whatever. Yet, if you let women tell you, if you let these young girls tell you that have been indoctrinated, they'll tell you otherwise. He says, I think the older age, so Pyro says, I think the older age of consent is 21 in another country. Which country is that? It's gotta be like it's gotta be one of the European countries. Because yeah, like in Africa is wild with their age of consent. Like they're like there's countries in Africa, it's just wild. Like that I can't get behind that. I think me personally, when it comes to the age of consent, I think we have it perfect. How we have it in America is 18, and then most states is 16. But with the 16, it comes with constraints. So if it's 16, you can't be more than 4 or 5 years older than 16. I think we have it perfect. I think that's perfect. Don't let it get no lower than 16 and we're good in my eyes. I think that's perfect. And then with 16, have it be constrained, meaning if if the girl's 16, don't let her boyfriend be uh no more than early 20s, right? No, sorry, no more than college age. So that would be no more than the age of 20 or 21 or 22. I really don't mind that. Honestly, I think the way we have it in America, I think it's perfect. But I grew up here. So of course I think it's perfect in terms of when it comes to age of consent. But they brought up that one clip on Corey Holcomb just to basically make him look like a predator, and that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna bring up all his old 5150 clips, any sketchy clip, to make him look bad. And I can't believe the black male content creators they're going along with it. It's crazy. Crazy. I don't see no white male content creators dragging Corey. I don't even see any white. I don't even see a whole bunch of white women content creators dragging Corey. It's all black women, obviously, and mostly black men. Crazy. And I just expect me personally. I just expected a little bit of more loyalty from for one of the pioneers of this space, in my opinion. One of the few men that talks that really speaks from a point of freedom. All right. Pyro says so they clip farmed him and added no context or what he was saying in full exactly. So they clip farmed him. He said they're moving too hard. Yes. Shout out to Into Deep. Pyro says I keep seeing anti small hat bullying ads on Instagram and TV since I came here. Exactly. I've been seeing a lot of that now. Oh, these small hats are getting man. These small hats ain't getting bullied. Please, unless first of all, these kids they know better. They ain't trying to get sued. They ain't trying to get sued. Please. Yeah, In Too Deep said they don't care. They can we I don't know what it is with Americans. We feel like we're morally superior, and then we'll bring up age of consent. Look, in the age of consent, it was America and the small hats that had the most affecting going on. America was aiding and abetting Israel when it comes to children getting trafficked. And I'm not saying trafficking don't happen over in other countries, but it's interesting the punishment, because when they find out if you've been doing stuff to kids in other countries, they'll chop your thing off, they'll castrate you, they'll have you whipped in front of everybody outside. In America, though, predators are often protected, from what I've seen. So America can miss me with that, and I will say particularly Black people can miss me with that. I've heard of way too many stories. I've heard way too many stories where you'll have like a mom looking for a stepfather, and she will look the other way, even if the daughter is saying like, "Yo, I caught the stepfather looking at me while I was changing or whatnot," and like this happens a lot, and they'll just look the other way. So this whole thing about trying to make Corey Holcomb a predator, Black people can miss me with that completely. I've heard way too many horror stories. Way too many horror stories. But anyways, let me go on to Cardi B, because I think Cardi B's situation is a little bit funny. You know, and the reason why the whole Cardi B and Stefon Diggs, alleged breakup is going viral is because men kind of told a woman what was going to happen, and they just didn't want to listen. But we'll come back to Corey Holcomb, though. We'll come back to Corey Holcomb. Right? Cardi B and Stefon Diggs break up after rumored relationship and pregnancy amid her marriage to Offset. Right? So on Sunday, we had the Super Bowl, and Patriots lost. Right? And what people noticed was Cardi B and Stefon Diggs unfollowing each other on Instagram. Excuse me, guys. So people noticed that. So people are now like saying, "Oh, is this a breakup?" And then they also noticed that I think Stefon Diggs had like one of his baby moms in the stands too. So maybe Cardi B found out, and then she was like, "That was the last straw." So everybody's kind of going crazy with the theories, right? But everybody, it was Black publications, right? Or Black female ran publications also trying to convince women, or specifically Black women, that Cardi B was winning by leaving her cheating husband for a sexual deviant in Stefon Diggs, where she became one of many hoes. And then not only they try to make it seem like that was a win, they try to make it seem like a win where when Cardi B got pregnant by Stefon Diggs, becoming one of his many, 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 many baby mothers in 1 year, mind you. They try to gaslight the public into making it seem like she was winning, and that Stefon Diggs was claiming Cardi B, and everybody knew what Stefon Diggs was doing. He was just fucking her till the wheels fall off until he could get rid of her. Not necessarily get rid of her until the breakup happens. But at the end of the day, he was never gonna wife her up. Everybody told her. Everybody was trying to tell y'all this, right? So now, what's interesting is instead of women admitting that the men were right when it came to Cardi B was losing, now the women are turning on Cardi B and saying that she's stupid for getting herself into what she got into. Like I said, they're never going to say that the men were right. They're just going to flip the narrative. They're going to switch the narrative and say something else and act like that they were never wrong. They were just following the wrong broad. That's what we were. And then a guy's gonna step in and say, oh, "That's what we were saying," but they're like, "I don't care about none of that." Oh man. But anyways, let's look at the reactions to this. Somebody said Stefon Diggs finished the season with no rings, 5 kids. Yes, yeah, 5 because he just welcomed in 5 kids from a whole bunch of different baby moms in 1 year. A breakup with Cardi B and pending jail time. So yep. So right after his loss, that dude's probably gonna go straight to prison. He's Stefon because people don't realize Stefon Diggs is like 32 or 33 years old. He's going straight to prison. If the Patriots don't want him no more, he's beat. He's gonna have to plead his case. He's gonna be like, look, I swear to you, please get me out of this. And I promise you, I'm never gonna yell at Drake May if he doesn't pass me the ball. I'm gonna be the best veteran. I'm gonna take a pay. Yeah, he's gonna take a pay cut. Stefon Diggs, he's gonna be like, I'm gonna take a pay cut. Trust me. Somebody said Cardi didn't realize that Stefon is just Offset with the letters rearranged. The N is silent. This is true. If you actually rearrange the letters of Stefon, you literally get Offset without the letter N. You can't make this stuff up if you tried. This is why I never really believed because Cardi B was saying where she said that she left Offset because of his cheating. And I think that's just a cover story. That's just my opinion. I think that was a cover story. Me personally, because I'm like, okay, so you left him for cheating, and then you chose Stefon, who has multiple. He's just openly with his stuff, but you don't care. Nah, she didn't leave him. She didn't leave Offset for cheating. She left him because of maybe the embarrassment, or there's just one bitch that he finally effed, where it was just the last straw for her. She just needs to be honest and say, look, I didn't mind Offset cheating per se. I just didn't like how he was embarrassing me about it. But if women were really honest about that, oh yeah, the gambling. I forgot, yeah, because people were talking about that. It's the gambling. I think she was covering for Offset's gambling. Low key, it was either one of the two, or two. Like I said, two things can be true. Two things can be true. But in terms of that cover story of, oh, I left him for cheating, I'm like, ma'am, stop. Stop it. Finger Laser Z says Corey didn't have to go in on Darlene and Zoe like he did. Why not just apologize for crossing the lines and let everything heal? He already apologized to Zoe. Him and Zoe are cool. It's just Zoe, obviously, it's what happened on the show was what happened on the show. So they went their separate ways, but they're cool. Corey and Zoe, they already squashed their whatever in 2021. Now with Darlene, I could care less, to be quite honest with you. I could care less. I don't understand, why are all these FBA ninjas that like to cram FBA down our throats. No disrespect, because I got respect for the FBAs. But now y'all sticking up for Darlene, and she's nowhere near FBA. She's Hispanic. I don't. All of these people now they're sticking up for all these FBA ninjas sticking up for Darlene. This is wild. First thing, if they see like one of these black ladies talking crazy on Twitter or on social media, the first thing you'll see the FBA simp ninjas. Is she FBA? Bruh. By the way, shout out to Daphne, right? Because anytime any of the FBA dudes try to give one of these FBA ladies an out or one of these black women an out for acting bad, for saying, oh, if she's FBA or she's not FBA, she'll be like, guys, let's not do this. This is a black woman talking crazy about black men. She needs to be held accountable, right? But all these people, all my FBA ninjas are oh my god, he did Darlene wrong. Look, I could care less, bro. I really could care less. And I've been trying to, and I said this yesterday, and people, Reaper can back me up on this. I've always said this about Darlene. Darlene is loyal. Only they talk about loyalty, but is it real loyalty? You know what I mean? Like, is she actually loyal because of loyalty, or is she only loyal because she has nowhere else to go? And I tend to believe the latter. She's only loyal because she has nowhere else to go. Nobody else is giving her something serious. And because her intelligence level is where it is, she hampers the show. Like, she really slows down the show because she's so slow. You know what I mean? No disrespect to her, but she's her intelligence level, like Corey Holcomb said, her intelligence level is what it is. You know? But she's replaceable, bro. She's very replaceable. Truth be told, I'll be very disappointed if I see Darlene tonight. I'll be very disappointed. Even like when Corey and Zoe, they made up, but obviously they had to go their separate ways. Right? They knew each other for a long time. They did collabs for a long time. Eventually they moved on from each other, unfortunately. I believe a bit prematurely, but it's unfortunate. It is what it is. That's life. And even still, Corey was still able to produce a great show without Zoe. And I believe Zoe was a very important asset to the show. And Corey was still able to get his views, get his numbers, still put out the knowledge, still give out the advice, even without Zoe. So, and people crying about Darlene, whether she's not there or she's there or not. Look, man, Corey sensed disloyalty at a very low point. Corey's at a low point right now where people are turning on him. Uh he's been telling people, look, I've been losing gigs, even though that's low-key lawsuit talk. He's trying to prepare a lawsuit. But the way the optics look, he's going through a low point right now. Socially going through a low point right now. And Darlene the previous week was open and said, look, I don't condone what Corey did, right? Even though he had a specific show inviting his people on to tell the public that he's innocent. And here you have Darlene with her slow ass talking about, I don't condone what he did, and he did what he did, and blah blah blah. I'm like, bro, we're having a whole show to put it out there that Corey is the good guy here, and here you are talking about I don't condone. But Corey Holcomb gave it a pass, and then next week he was like, "Can you hold up the shirt for me? Can you hold up the shirt?" Now I don't want to hold up this shirt. All of a sudden, she don't want to do shit. just because the heat is a little bit too hot right now. Corey Holcomb peeped it. He peeped it. He peeped the disloyalty, or not necessarily the disloyalty, but her having one step foot out just in case. He peeped it. He peeped it. So I'm like, he's like, oh, okay. This is how we doing it. All right. Most men are not brave enough to call out the disloyalty or their woman having one step foot out when things start getting a little bit tough. Most men, I'll say 80 to 90% of men are afraid to be like, oh, okay, she got one foot out. I'm gonna have to call her out about it, or I'm gonna have to make some changes, or both. Most men are afraid to make that next step. And Darlene is very replaceable. I don't know why we got all these FBA ninjas sticking up for an Hispanic bitch. This is crazy. Oh, but I told you because unfortunately Darlene is a MILF, right? All these ninjas out here, that's where they have high standards. They would smash if they got the chance. They would smash. And I told you what they really like. They don't want to admit it, but they like fucking Hispanic bitches or light skinned bitches. If they can get the chance to, they get their hands on a light skinned bitch, they gonna go full simp. Right? So that's also part of it. The bitch was a fat, ugly bitch, they would not care. Even if Corey Holcomb was doing her real dirty, if it was a fat, ugly bitch, or if it was a fat, ugly, dark skinned bitch, they would not care. They would not be talking about her like she's an asset. Pyro said Diggs is the GOAT. He said, what did he do to end up in prison? Oh, yeah. Remember when I covered that story about Stefon Diggs and that chef saying that the chef, when the chef said that he he, he put his hands on her, right? He tried to get that living chef. And then Cardi B made it worse by texting the chef and saying, hey, you making a big deal out of nothing. Remember that story? Stefon Diggs, he's a deviant. He's a sexual deviant. In Too Deep said, I don't care about the chicks, period, and I'm an FBA. Facts. Look, it's a whole bunch of FBA ninjas showing like the Darlene video. Oh man, Corey messed up with this one. You go do this, but the FBAs are killing me right now. They're killing me because I believe, this is one of the FBA's strongest soldiers in Corey Holcomb, and they're tearing him down, particularly the FBA men, or really black men in general. I don't want to put that just on the FBA, but really black men in general. FBA men, non-FBA men. It's wild. It's wild. Exactly. Yeah, they thinking about Darlene and them legs on the Ice-T, on those Ice-T album covers. Yeah, all these dudes, they used to jerk off to that cover when they were younger. So they feel a semblance of loyalty to that, but not a loyalty to a man who's been given people free game for how many years? Free game every Tuesday for how many years? Basically a free comedy show every Tuesday. For how many years? And then they wonder why people like CGA's like, I'm disassociating myself with the manosphere. So ungrateful. So ungrateful. Anyways. So Ellis is here, says, Chris Mike, are you saying that Darlene is only as loyal as her options? Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That is exactly what I'm saying. All of us, Darlene, Corey's going through a little bit of pickle, and all of a sudden she don't want to hold up a shirt. oh, I don't condone him doing this and blah blah blah, giving a political correctness. Nah, stand by your boss. She stood by him with everything else. Now he's losing gigs, even though that's what he's just saying that. But now he's going through a little bit of a pickle. She got one foot out. I could see she got one foot out. She got one foot out. It's all good. If you got one foot out, it's all you know. Do you like? I don't be shocked when broads have one foot out. Oh man. In Too Deep says she doesn't serve a purpose. He says Corey don't monetize right, and he still crushes the algorithm. But I'll say this: he's definitely if I'll say this, if he is losing some comedy shows, he's probably going to have to do more monetization off of YouTube since he has built a platform on here. I think he should do more on YouTube. If he really is losing comedy shows, he should put his pride to the side and do more YouTubian things. In my opinion, I think he's earned the right, but still, he still doesn't do it out of pride because old school Gen X ninjas like that they're gonna they always stuck in their ways, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's his show. It's not up to us, or sorry, it's not up to me to tell him what to do with his own show, you know. So it's all up to him. I will support him either way. He's been giving us literally a free comedy show every Tuesday, free game every Tuesday. And yeah, we could put a super chat here and there, but the value that he's given is it's priceless, you know. Finger Laser Z says, put a big enough bag in any ninja's eyes, and you can see what real loyalty means, fam. Skinship is not kinship. Facts. Facts. Oh, where's Umar? Where my Umar Johnson clip? Facts. 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 It's only like I don't know if Tariq Nasheed is still rocking with Corey. Because last I checked, I saw Tariq was still on Corey's side. He was still giving him a love. Well, people forget, I could see Tariq Nasheed like if I'll say this. I'll be shocked if Tariq Nasheed doesn't fold. Sorry, I mean if I'll be shocked if he doesn't fold. I will expect Tariq Nasheed to drop his support for Corey, like just off of public pressure because he's been hustling, the FBA stuff. But what people forget, Tariq Nasheed and Corey Holcomb, they used to do some shows together back in the day. Like Zoe Williams would have his panel, and Tariq has joined on a couple of times with Corey. Because there was a time where people thought that they were beefing, but then they met together and they started talking, and they realized, oh, there's nothing here. We're all good, So I'll, because so Tariq and Corey, they do have some history in terms of positive history, long enough positive history where Tariq he's going to hold off for as long as he can. I think deep down in Tariq's heart, he knows Corey has a good heart. But I can see Tariq being like, look, I'll just disassociate myself with Corey off of, his fans, that he has to, placate to. So I'll give Tariq a pass if he just kind of like distances himself from Corey a little bit. But I definitely like particularly like so the female content creators that Corey Holcomb has invited on, specifically Riva TV, Kendra, the Crimson Cure, whatever they say about Corey Holcomb, if they disagree with whatever happens with him, I'm gonna give them a pass because they're women. Right? That's not their job, right? But I expected the black male content creators to I just expected more from him. You know what I mean? Somebody said she's over 40. Hell no. Look, dude, D is 50, what, 59 or 60 years old? Dude, every time she stands up, dudes be simping in the chat. Trust me. And every time anytime Corey Holcomb will have a male guest, they'll always try to give props to Darlene in her face, be like, "Oh, I remember you from the Ice-T cover and all this stuff." Yeah, they be simping over Darlene. Believe it or not. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Into Deep said they ain't FBA until I see paperwork. Oh man. Yes, the Power album cover. Yes, the Power album cover. He says, Chris Mike said Futon was suing seeds of division between Corey and Darlene when he was on set. I believe this situation started there. This is true. This is true. But many people have been saying that about Corey and Darlene, for whatever. And if Darlene wasn't able to peep what Futon was doing, then it is what it is. I didn't really get Anton's point about, oh man, you're the people that work under you, they don't stick, they don't they're just yes men. If I'm paying somebody, if I'm paying somebody, you're my employee. Darlene is literally his employee. Now, Craig, that's different. He's just on the show out of love. He has his own show, right? He has his own show. But at the end of the day, it's Corey's show. Anton would never go on the Howard Stern show and tell the people that's underneath Howard Stern that you guys don't stick up to Howard Stern enough when he goes off, when he loses the plot. Anton would never go on Joe Rogan's show and say, the people under you, Joe Rogan, they don't stick up to you. They don't, whatever. These people never do that. But like I said, when it's a black man with his own platform, even the way Anton went on his platform, they never have respect for a black man's platform. Right? I was gonna give the example. Let me see. Actually, now I'll leave that until it comes back to me. I already forgot. But when it's a black man's platform, it's, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna bring up. Anton, when he brought up, he thought he could just put Mika on the show without letting Corey know. So that's already a lack of respect. If he was going on Joe Rogan's show, he probably wouldn't even have invited Mika, because he would probably try to invite his wife and his kid to make him look as professional as possible. But he came in with his side chick and he thought he could just put his side chick on the show because, this is just an internet show. This is just a regular show. People don't have respect for black men's platform. They just don't. That's just what I've seen. Somebody said he needs a producer. He does have Nail and Abraham, or whatever, Abe, back there doing what they can. But it is what it is. He said, either this is Corey's call, period, facts. Chris might say that, he said that was projection on Futon's part. This is true. He said Futon has yes men and women on his platform. By the way, we've had 5150 show has had plenty of personalities, disagreements on the show. Corey and Darlene, they literally argue every single other episode. So that was just, that was Futon's projection. But seeing the shitstorm that has happened since Futon, it's clear the manosphere is ran by agents, sponsored. Like they're coming in, they're already sponsored. That's how they get ahead of the game. Crisis actors. You know what I mean? So it's a wake up call. It is a wake up call. But anyways, let me see if I can bring up more, Cardi B slash Stefon Diggs stuff. But that was a funny comment right here. If you rearrange the letters of Stefan, you get Offset without the N. Let me get out of this because NFL gonna get mad. Let's see what I just had it. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's see what else they got. Let's see what else they got. Oh yeah, and I already said yesterday that people owe Cam Newton an apology, right? That's another person that people be hating on for no reason. So shout out to this guy right here. He says last year when Cardi B was asked how she felt about joining the queue of Stefon Diggs' baby mamas, she laughed it off and said she didn't care. All she wanted was Stefon Diggs to herself. Fast forward to now, things have reportedly gone left. Sources allege Cardi B and Stefon Diggs have broken up over one of his baby mamas. The issue, the same baby mama reportedly had front row tickets at an event sitting pretty with her son. And when Cardi B found out, everything exploded. Both Cardi B and Diggs have now unfollowed each other. And to make it even crazier, the breakup allegedly happened in the middle of the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, she did. She did leave early. Cardi B, they do have a video of Cardi B leaving early. Right. This says report says Cardi left early after spending a jaw-dropping $1.2 million on a Super Bowl after party that neither of them even attended. This is also true. This is also true. Okay, so they said tap in with Tariq Nasheed live on X. Let's see what's going on right here. Let's tap in. Apparently, Tariq Nasheed is live on Twitter. Let's see what he's talking about right now. Let's see what Tariq Nasheed is talking about right now.
A lot of black women being fruitful and multiplying, abusing black women and men, named Stefon Diggs.
I don't know, but ain't that Cardi's dude?
I don't know, is it?
I don't know, but why you okay? I haven't heard anything about that.
Have you not? There's a whole lawsuit going on currently. Actually, there's 3 different lawsuits going on currently. I think that as a foundational Black American, you should be addressing why this man just beat up another foundational Black American.
By the way, do you guys want me to invade? Nah, I'm not gonna. The last time I went on Twitter Spaces to talk, it was basically like Clubhouse all over again. I could not because I could join in on the conversation and talk about and ask him what do you think about the Corey Holcomb situation just to get his hot take on it. I could do it because I already got my microphone set up, but I don't want to do it. Loki, because Twitter Spaces, man, it's just like, oh man. Last time I did Twitter Spaces, I left literally so disappointed. I was like, this cannot be life. Somebody said, do it. Pyro said, nah, don't do it. As he said, Cam has the best sound bites. I got love for Cam, man. I got love for Cam. Yeah, Twitter is a cesspool. It's just I don't know if I bring up because anytime there's certain people I bring up and women get getting a little bit of a hissy fit when I bring up certain people. Oh man, I bring up. Oh, even let's go back to the age discussion. I remember when I was on my podcast. Sorry, I was on my cousin's podcast, and we just happened to talk. We were just happened to talk about like the type of woman I've dated, and then I remember, and this was when I was like 24. Oh yeah, I was 23 or 24. I said this, and there was a girl on, and I said, oh yeah, usually I try to date 20, 21, 19 if possible, and I was talking about my experience with the 19-year-old while I was 24, and she was sitting there looking at me like I was a weirdo. And I was like, wait, why are you? And I literally told him, like, why are you looking at me like this? I'm like, it's because I said she was 19. But mind you, the woman that was on the podcast, she was like 32, 33, right? She's around that age. Like she still she be going to open mic events and still dresses like a teenager herself. But that's just the irony too. They still be using makeup. They still be using they do all these procedures to look as young as possible. And then they actually get mad at you when you actually get the product that they're trying to be like. Oh man. But yeah, that was one of my cousin's like playtings he had on the show. Jesus Christ. Anyways. I'm trying to read your chat, Pyro, but you're saying she thinks you're all about your DHOOT. What is Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know what you're trying to say. Shoot, shoot, shoot. She was trying to shoot her shot. Look, that was the same. Yeah, that was the same girl that shot her shot at me. And because my cousin was like, it's okay, I don't mind. And she shot her shot, and I was like, nah, because I found out this was the same. I said no because she had admitted that she messes with men that also mess with men. So I'm like, nah, I can't do it. So I talked about this girl before on the show. This is the one where I shot her down, and then she went back to my cousin and acted like I was a weirdo for viewing or liking one of her stories after I turned her down, right? That's why I always say, mind you, this is why I always say it really doesn't matter the age of the woman. She can be in her 30s, 40s, 20s. Most women are immature. It don't matter what age. Because I'm thinking, okay, you're about what, 34, 35? Nope. Zero maturity. Some of the worst public experiences I've had, just in general, is with women in their 30s. One woman in their 40s. Awful experience. Immature, disrespectful, all of that. like literally. And by the way, if my cousin is listening to this, I do apologize for scaring away the fat bitches you had on your show. I do apologize about that. Anyway, moving on. Moving on now. Oh man. He said, sorry about that. My hand is full of kitchen grease. No worries. But let me see what they got on any more things on the Cardi B situation. But it's basically a wrap. It is a wrap. Okay, somebody said Cardi B deleted all of her pics with Stefon Diggs. She won. I think she's being facetious there. Some people are saying this might be cap. Nah. But dude, like, back to the Corey Holcomb situation, because I think, the Cardi B situation, we all knew that was gonna happen. But with the Corey Holcomb situation, man, it's crazy what's happening, man. It's crazy. I'm like, angry man too. Angry man trying to throw shots. I'm like, don't these people know without people like Corey Holcomb, Patrice, where's the loyalty, man? They got me turning. Reaperell will probably laugh at this, but these people got me turning into Roy Keane, man. Like, I remember people would ask, this is a soccer player called Roy Keane. Somebody asked him, who do you think is a better winger? And somebody asked him these three players, and then he obviously chose the winger that he played with when he was at Manchester United. And they're like, "But what?" They're like, "What about this guy? What about this guy?" And they were really looking for his objective opinion. And Roy Keane flat out said, he said, "Look, I have loyalties towards Giggs. I don't have loyalty towards these these people." Right. And everybody laughed. But I can respect that. I can respect that. And the older I get, that's the type of person I'm turning into. There's certain people you got to show, you have to at least show a semblance of loyalty, some kind of loyalty to the people that has helped you. Obviously, the people that have raised you. Obviously, the people that has helped you. And people, I think people are only. It seems like people are only loyal to the people that help them out financially, but not spiritually. If that makes sense. I have a loyalty towards the people that have helped me spiritually. And people might think, "Oh, how has Corey helped you spiritually?" Oh no, he's helped me spiritually. I've had I have uncles that have helped me spiritually, right? So I have a loyalty towards them, meaning if I get some money, I'm a break them off first, right? But people I think people are only loyal to the people when it comes to finances. And I don't think that should be the only time you show loyalty to somebody just off of finance, because that's very limited. Ellis says those chicks who were cutting up in their 30s are mad because they see the wall. Yeah. Like, shout out to her, because I saw her recently at a open mic that I shouldn't have done. The whoever the DJ, the producer was, he did me dirty on the sound. But I saw her looking completely different. She really, and I know, like, the new look that she got. I know exactly what that is. She seen that wall. It is what it is. There's nothing wrong with that, but women handle, the eventual wall, different kind of ways. It is what it is. It is what it is. But it's interesting when it comes to when we talk about loyalty in general, right? You'll be surprised the people that stay loyal or the people that got your back when you're not looking. There's people that I'm talking about. There's women. Well, they were girls at the time, but they still have my back to this day, right? And they don't. I'm talking about they do not have to have my back, but they still do, right? It's one of those things, man. The people that show you the loyalty, you'll be shocked. At the end of my tenure at some of these institutions, these schools, I can literally count on one hand who were truly loyal to me, and then I can count the countless people that swore that they were my friend. Right? But when it came down to it, it was very few. Meaning, and it didn't matter if there was a boy, they were a boy or a girl. It didn't matter. Right? Anywho, let's bring up the Darlene video that everybody that I bet people are going crazy over. Okay. Here we go. Darlene Ortiz finally responds after confirmation with Corey Holcomb on 5150 Show.
So let's talk about something called misplaced or displaced anger. Whew. This is when someone is genuinely angry or hurt about something or someone, but instead of directing that anger at the real source, they unconsciously aim it somewhere safer, easier, or less risky.
I really wonder, do these bitches, like, when you have these women on your show, do they listen? Corey Holcomb was making it very clear who his anger was at. TMZ, Futon, etc. Fruit Booty, but whoever he's his beef with, it's pretty clear who it is. Now you fucked up a little bit, and he kind of called you out on it. You might have thought he was being a little bit overboard, but you need to be on point. You need to be on point.
For example, right? Someone might feel powerless, rejected, or disrespected by a boss or coworker, a partner, children, or even life itself. But they don't feel safe expressing that anger there. So it leaks out all over the place toward loved ones, strangers, or even themselves. The anger is real, the pain is real, but the direction is off.
Oh, by the way, let me speed it up because usually when I watch these videos, it's at like 1.5 speed. These people be way too slow. But anyways,
understanding this helps us stop taking everything personally, and it also helps us ask better questions. Like, what is this really about? Or what might be underneath this reaction? It doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but it does explain it. And that awareness gives us more emotional clarity, healthier boundaries, and a lot more compassion for our.
She better not be reading this off of Chat GPT. I swear to God, she better not be reading this off of Chat GPT. Yeah, 11K. I don't know how she got 11K subscribers. Yeah, I told. Oh, in too deep. I don't know how long you've been subscribed to me, but I told you how easy it is for broads on YouTube or in social media in general. I've seen broads on here on Instagram. They have hundreds of thousands of followers, and literally all they have to do is make one video. They can just, to translate the success to YouTube, all they have to do is make one or two videos, and they automatically 10,000 subscribers. I knew one girl, like I've shown you, I used to show people's like the IG models. They could easily be making a bag off of YouTube, but they're just too lazy. I'm talking about they could be making a bag off YouTube. A lot of these IG models with hundreds of thousands of followers and all these, it doesn't take much. It really does not take much. Oh man, I told you. I told you. I used to, well, because I don't know how long In Too Deep has been subscribed to me. Because I talked about this a lot. I might do another master class. I used to do, like, back in the day when I had OBS and did the live streams. I used to show like the Instagram profile models, how to tell which one is an escort, how to tell which one is just, engagement farming, the ones that are just using this for likes, the Amazon links, whatever, the store links, and how that's really just a cover up for their pricing and all this stuff. I'm going to do another one because we got to do an updated version. We need to do an updated version because we do have some new people coming in. I told you, man. They're like 11,000 subscribers. Yep. It's that easy for broads. It's that easy. And their content literally they bring zero value. Zero. 11K. Now, she's probably been on YouTube for a while, but the content, it can't be that much content. So let's look at her YouTube channel in the meantime. She probably started it a while. Look, she only has 18 videos. She started her YouTube in 2025. She only has 18 videos, only 146,000 views, but 11.4 thousand subscribers. 11.4 thousand subscribers. I'm telling you, man. It shows you how, and if you look at her channel, Nothing. But I'll say this: shout out to her for starting her own platform. That's smart. But I've been trying to tell people it's that easy. It's that easy for broads in this space. All they got to do is put in a little bit of work, just a little bit. Me, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to put my life out there. I got to bring my real life experience. I got to do research. I got to do abroad. All she got to do is just set up her camera and she good. I've also brought up the example of female athletes, right? Female athletes, as soon as they turn 18, instead of doing an OnlyFans, what they do is they'll start their athlete page at 16 or 17. So by the time they hit 18, they already have 50,000 subscribers on 50,000 followers on Instagram, right? That's all it takes for a female athlete. She just needs to just be in shape. She doesn't even need to be pretty. She just needs to be a female athlete. This is my female athlete page, and I'm a volleyball player, and I'm going to make sure I show as much skin as possible. They drop a photo shoot for their college, right? The college they go to, they have the photo shoot. They show their photo shoot when they're showing the most skin, and they automatically get 10,000 followers. I show the example of on this channel. I show the example of this It's a professional female soccer team in Colombia. Sorry, it's a youth. It's a U21 team, a U21 team, or a U23 team, right? Oh no, I think it was the actual professional team. Every single woman on that team that was not a stud. Every single one that was not a stud, they all had 10,000 followers on Instagram. Even the ugly broads, 10,000 followers. It's that easy. It's that easy. He said, yeah, you know the answer to that question. Women hear you, not the same thing as listening. Yeah, she's talking about misplaced anger and all this stuff. I'm like, nah, it's pretty clear who Corey's mad at. He said it a couple. He says he mentions TMZ by name. He doesn't even give TMZ a nickname. He said 11K must be the FBAs, non-FBAs as well, because I'll be seeing the non-FBAs. They be simping, but I'd have thought with the FBA ninjas, right, they'd be the first to be like, man, we are not patronizing a Hispanic woman that doesn't claim us, right? Yeah, the trap links. Yeah. But anyways, let's go back.
For ourselves and others. Here's what it often looks like: snapping at a loved one after a bad day with the boss or work, being irritated at strangers when you're actually grieving, you're hurt or scared, getting angry about small things when something big is unresolved elsewhere, or criticizing others for traits that actually mirror our own pain or insecurity. We're all carrying more than people realize, and most of us are doing the best we can with what we were taught or not taught, right? A little awareness goes a long way, so be gentle with yourself and mindful with others. When someone is consistently dissatisfied about things like cleanliness, routines, or not getting their way, the issue usually isn't the surface complaint. What's often underneath is a need for control when they feel powerless somewhere else, chronic frustration, resentment, or entitlement, anxiety that shows up as rigidity, emotional immaturity or poor coping skills, a belief that their discomfort is other people's responsibility. So instead of managing their own feelings, they offload them onto people around them.
So let's talk about that, where basically you have people, not necessarily, not just Darlene, but really overall, they think that Corey doesn't have the right to be mad at what TMZ and company are doing to him. Imagine this. If you're a man, you go through something with whoever, you go to court for it already, no charges, but then 2 years later or a year later, a video gets leaked, even though I'm pretty sure the judge told both parties. You can't be leaking no videos. You can't be leaking no nothing. Whatever happened in court stayed in court. You guys can't talk about it no more. And Corey held up his end of the bargain. Now you have a leak happen where now he gets tried not only in court, but also in the court of public opinion. So much so where he's losing gigs, he's losing his reputation, and he already went through the courts. He already went through the court system. Of course, he's going to be mad at that. Of course. Imagine you do things the right way and they can still double jeopardy you, which happens a lot to black men in general. This happened to Ray Rice. This happened to many others. Oh, to a lesser extent, R. Kelly. This happens to a lot of black men, where you already go to the court, you do what you're supposed to do, you go through the system, you do all the proper things. Then they drop a documentary on you, or they drop something on you, where you got to go through the court of public opinion again, and through the court of public opinion, you start losing money. Yes, and people can't fathom why Corey's upset, and especially if it's slander, if it's lies. Corey ain't punched nobody, but TMZ is just allowed to say he punched somebody. This is why he's looking to sue TMZ, because those are lies. He went to court for this stuff already. So this is why Corey is rightfully so upset. It's interesting. Did Dana White even go to court for what he did? This is why I got somebody's got to educate me in the chat. Somebody's got to educate me in the chat here. Did Dana White ever go to court for for what he did to his wife in the public for everybody to see? Did he ever even go to a court? Did she even file charges on him for what he did? And it was interesting because I remember the public, the people on ESPN, the male content creators in the space, nobody held Dana White accountable for that. Nobody. It's very interesting to see. Very interesting to see. But anyways, XVY Jay-Z says Pookie, aka Stefon Diggs, and Pookisha, Cardi B, are a match made in hell. No one's a victim, and it's poetry in motion. Oh yeah, by the way, I told you guys too, Stefon Diggs is gonna suffer for messing with Cardi B in the first place, because he was trying to use Cardi B for clout, but that's gonna backfire on him because he had a kid by Cardi B. He decided to put a kid in this bitch. But I guess in the grand scheme of things, people are going to be like, well, Stefon Diggs is a deadbeat anyway, so he probably doesn't care. But still, Cardi B is probably still going to drag this man via child support later on in the future. You know, those NFL checks aren't going to be the same later on down the line. And Stefon Diggs, he doesn't seem like a guy that's going to get out of sexual trouble anytime soon. Pyro said, "What's wrong with her? Why can't she just sit down and be quiet?" Facts. But if you say that, it's gonna be men saying there's something wrong with you, right? Ellis says that LS, or is that L5? No, that's LS. LS says, yeah, she's reading. Yeah, she's reading this off of Chat GPT. I've been noticing this from these broads. These broads can't even do a short form content without using Chat GPT. You see it on TikTok. If you go on TikTok, all these broads, you can see them reading off of Chat GPT, reading off a screen. These bruh. These hoes are funny, bruh. You go on TikTok, watch AJ's channel and see and look at the broads he'll put on from TikTok. 304 talk, whatever. And you can see the screen in their glasses. You can see the screen, them reading off the screen in their eyes. They can't even go in front of camera for 30 seconds and talk without the without the assistance of Chat GPT or Gemini or one of these things, Grok, one of these things, they can't do it. Oh man, I'm gonna get that's another point for CGA. By the way, it's another point for Coach Greg Adams. By the way, I was just thinking, because I think CGA did speak on the Corey Holcomb situation, what Corey Holcomb's going through, and people might have not peeped it, but he said, "Look, there's certain content creators you go after, and then your career goes to shit afterwards." And I've spoken on this as well, right? When we talk about the Paul brothers, right? Who else that I can mention as there's just certain people if you make them look bad, your career can be in danger because they're connected to certain people, right? So Coach Greg was saying, like, look, it seems like all of he says it seems like all of Corey's troubles. He wasn't taking a side, mind you. CJ was not taking a side. He's just saying that Corey Holcomb is taking an L in the court of public opinion, and it says like it seems like it started with Anton. So that was very interesting. He didn't take any sides from what I saw. But it was it was almost like he kind of put it in there like, look, just he said this is why I don't do no collabs. I don't do any whatever collaborations. That's why I don't do duos and blah blah blah. And I'll say the same here with me. I tend to be like, I'm good. I'm not no debater. And then on top, because I understand what people do. Certain people cannot take L's. Certain people cannot take L's, and it's clear when Anton took his whatever, Anton felt a certain type of way from the collaboration. Anton, then Corey Holcomb, to make matters worse, Corey Holcomb made that shirt, right? He did the put his daughter on the screen, right? He did that. So that was probably not a good idea looking back, but it was clear from the jump all of that was gonna happen to Corey Holcomb anyways, right? But there's certain people. So Corey's mistake was inviting Anton in the first place. Not necessarily what he said about his daughter and his wife, but specifically just collaborating with him in the first place. You cannot collaborate with agents, right? This is also why, certain people, they've asked me to debate. I'm like, no. Especially the one female. You're just afraid of debating a smart, whatever, intelligent woman. And you're just like, no. Because at the end of the day, you're going to feel a certain type of way after the debate. Even before the debate, you're going to try to look up some dirt on me. When I went on Twitter Spaces and I tried to give my opinion, all I hear in the background is this while I'm talking. I'm just hearing. You can hear bitches typing and trying to look me up and see if there's a connection there, and you're just like, and just like, well, you should be. Well, that's why you're hiding behind this burner because I try to search you up and I can't find anything. I'm like, so you trying to search up people over an opinion? This is what we doing over a Twitter Spaces opinion? And what usually happens, because this used to happen to me in school, they never have dirt on me, so they try to take out their stuff on my siblings and my family in general, right? So that's why, like in high school, I was very calm, cool, even if I was done dirty, because I knew my siblings were coming right after me. So I had to make sure I was straight. But this is what people will do if they're frustrated with you, and you probably didn't even do anything to them. So this is why I tend to be like, nah, I'm good. Same thing with Rachel Wilson's side dude. We're good. I'm gonna let you go. You know what I mean? But anyways. Pyro said, even as slow as I am, I can hold a better conversation. XVYJZ says, to be honest, CGA be ending careers. Facts. I'll say, but even still then, with CGA, even though he won the debate with Andrew Wilson, he probably shouldn't even have done the debate with him. Because most of the normies, they took Andrew's side. Most of the people in the manosphere took Andrew Wilson's side. You know, so, and then in the optics, they were saying that CGA was being disrespectful. He was being rude. I'm like, how? Oh man. But you know, anywho, but I did respect CGA's opinion on the whole Corey Holcomb / Anton Daniels thing, because he didn't take a side. He didn't take a side. He's like, CJ's just reacting to just the aftermath of what's happening to Corey Holcomb. They're just like, good Lord. But you can tell who the smart people are. He knows this is a result of barking up the wrong tree, if that makes sense. He understands what that is. A lot of these people out here, they're making like judgment calls, and they're trying to say Corey is this and Corey is that. He's just like, look, it's clear that he barked up the wrong tree. He upset somebody. When you see all this stuff start coming out against somebody, it's because somebody's upset. But anyways, let's let Darlene finish here.
Now, here's why understanding it matters. Because when you recognize displaced anger, you stop taking things personally that aren't actually about you. You can pause and ask, what is this really about? You gain more compassion for yourself and for others without excusing harmful behavior. So if this message helped you understand someone else better, great. If it helped you understand yourself better,
this is the most passive aggressive ass video I've ever seen in my life, bro.
Even greater. Just remember, empathy doesn't require self-sacrifice, and understanding doesn't mean tolerating behavior that harms you. You're allowed to be compassionate and protected.
So here she puts up this quote. She says, it is wise to direct your anger towards problems, not people, to focus your energies on answers, not excuses. We need to, I think later down in history, there's going to be a study done on when it comes to double jeopardy, right? In the court, the court of law and then the court of public opinion. You got the court of law, you got the court of public opinion. And particularly men like Corey Holcomb, unfortunately, because it doesn't help, because Corey, when they see Corey, they see a big black N-word. So they're just going to assume that he's wrong. You see this, you even see this happen in sports, where basically it'll be like a fight between two players, and they'll just assume that the bigger, blacker dude is the villain just because of his size and strength. But in the reality is he was probably provoked. The smaller guy probably did something himself, right? For example, Shaq would get fouled a lot, right? LeBron James gets fouled a lot, but because of their stature, because of their size, they just feel like, oh, they should just be able to take it. No, they got fouled. A foul is a foul. But that's just life. That's just life. Pyro says, same, Chris. You see, my Instagram is only a picture of me and my teens, so people don't have no dirt on me. Then they get mad and they call me ugly. A2 Deep says, I watched that debate and CGA told Simp Wilson points are valid if there was no divorce. It still shocked me. There was a lot of things that Andrew Wilson has said. He said, what? Where he didn't know that a divorce was a lawsuit. He'd even know that, like, look, when you see a man he had like he's in child support trouble. He's in this. He's not seeing his kids. It's because the mom dropped a lawsuit on him. She put a case on him. That's how this stuff works. But like guys like Andrew Wilson, these are like guys like Andrew Wilson. They just think that like, these are the same dudes that think that, black dudes are just abandoning their kids. You know what I mean? They just think it's they just think that black dudes are they're just not taking care of the responsibility, or they just think fathers in general are not taking care of their responsibilities, and they don't understand you can't work with somebody that's dropping a case on you. But men have been gaslit into having to cooperate or co-parent with a woman that dropped a case on them. That is just, it's crazy how that works, but that's what we're doing nowadays. This is stuff that we're doing. I want to show you something though. Let me show you something. See, Angry Man channel. By the way, I apologize for my stream last night. On OBS. I really tried. Thankfully I got everything fixed today. But I tried. My live stream was all over the place last night using OBS. But anyways, let me see this. So yeah, we had the Angry Man channel. If I can bring it up. I might have to go under my history. Hold on for a second. I might have to go under history to make sure I got the right video up. Let me see if I can bring up the history. Yeah, right here. This one.
Best, bro. And I got news.
So here you have Angry Man, and it's no disrespect to Angry Man. It's just, bruh, come on, man. Don't go with the bandwagon. Don't go with the bandwagon, man. Like I said, I got respect for Angry Man, but it's like, bro, don't do this. Don't do this. But here we have Angry Man trying to pile on.
It's the final hoorah. It's a wrap for your boy. It's a wrap for Corey. He's done. He's done with everything that he's been accused of with him. Like, he should have never, bro. He opened this door the moment he decided to talk trash about a minor.
So he's still speaking on the the monkey comment, basically. Good Lord.
I can't believe y'all was defending this dude. like, bro, I can't believe y'all.
I am.
I was defending this dude. Like, there's a whole.
I don't know what it is with, because there was a long time when Angry Man didn't really have a whole bunch of subscribers, but I don't know. I guess these people they think that they gain a bunch of subscribers and now what they say is law. You know what I mean? It's a shame. But anyways,
a whole bunch of y'all conflict creators out there that's trying your best to cape for him. You trying your best, bro. And I got news for you. Just like James from Good Times and Big Worm on the Players Club. You remember when they went in there and arrested that light-skinned chick? What was her name? Ronnie? You remember when they went in there and arrested Ronnie? And Bernie Mac tried to say something, and they said, you might want to pull your nose all the way up out of this business. I got news for every last one of y'all on Team Corey, Team 5150. You might want to back all the way up. You might want to pull your nose all the way up out of it.
How come? Let me hear your reasoning, sir.
That business, because it's about to get real. It's about to get real. I'm going to show you. It's about to get real.
The way he's speaking, it's almost like he thinks that there's going to be another case dropped on Corey. And I'll say this, if he has inside information on that, that means Angry Man is a agent himself. He's a little bit too excited to see another black man get canceled, but it is what it is.
Spooky. It's about to get real ugly. We are watching this go down in flames in real time, bro. In real time. You hear me? In real time. But I tell you what, it gets worse. It gets worse. I got a video that I'm going to play that in my...
Oh, he's talking about, let me see. Oh, he's talking about the Iceland. So that was the video I was talking about earlier on. Good Lord. He joined the bandwagon of hate. I cannot believe this. Why, Angry Man? Why would you do this? Why would you do this, man? Oh, Lord.
My opinion is the final hoorah. It's a
I'll say this, though. It's not going to be as easy as you think to take down Corey. I think what happens, these people really think that people like Corey, that they have like criminal records and stuff. They really think that these people are I think they look at Corey and they just think big black dude talking shit. He's got some dirt on him. He's got something. The person who came close was Tasha K when he brought when she brought his first baby mama on the platform, but it still didn't work. Because basically everything that she did is exactly what Corey said that she was going to do. But yeah, niggas is a little bit too excited to see another black man go down. I think, wait, by the way, in the chat, please help me out real quick. I think Angry Man's married, if I'm not mistaken, right? I'm pretty sure he's married. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. He said Candace is done too. I tend to give Ticket TV a pass because he gives everybody the smoke. But I think Ticket TV, I think he does want to see Corey Holcomb do better. Right? But I think like for me, Ticket TV comes across as a dude. I feel like he does have a liking to Corey Holcomb, but he got to give he's one of these people. I got to give everybody that free smoke, and it is what it is. But he said, what he said? He said Candace is done too. No, she's not. She's married. She's married to isn't the guy that she's married to like a millionaire, billionaire? Ain't she married to a Jewish like millionaire, billionaire herself? So, so you said Angry Man is married. Yes. So look, it's interesting. The people that tend to have a problem with Corey Holcomb. Look, I don't know if Angry Man brought his wife to a Corey Holcomb show. He was gonna enjoy himself. He said something. The wife got mad. Because niggas is a little bit too excited. Because at least with Ticket, when he's talking about Corey, he's like, bro, he's not saying this out of joy. You know what I mean? A lot of these people, they're saying they're when they're talking about Corey Holcomb and a potential downfall, they're literally praying on his downfall, like literally praying for his downfall. You can see it. Man, but I really didn't expect, Angry Man, because remember when Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels was going at it. Remember what Angry Man did? At first, he stuck up for Anton, and then he took himself out of the beef. He was like, never mind, I don't want any of this smoke. Remember Angry Man did that? Now he's back in trying to pile on. What is going on here? What we got going on here? This is very interesting because at first Angry Man backed himself out. Now he's back in. Oh man. But like I said, it's not gonna be a wrap for Candace because Candace is married to a millionaire billionaire. She has her dream scenario where she can act like she's independent, say conservative things, but at the same time, she doesn't have to work as hard as her male counterparts because she has a male millionaire / or billionaire husband doing a lot of the dirty work. So Candace she's fine. She'll be fine. Candace, that's first of all, Candace, this ain't no regular bitch. Candace she's very smart in her hustle. She's a great hustler. Candace is a great hustler. I got to give her props. I know she is what you call paid op, but she got hustle. She knows exactly what she's doing to get that money, to placate to her core audience. She knows what audience to placate to. Notice on this platform, it's whatever. I call out everybody on this channel if I disagree with them or if I agree with them. No matter how comfortable or uncomfortable the truth. You know, Candace got hustle, but I can tell you can tell by these people they're really preying on Corey's downfall. This is wild work. This is wild work.
Rap for your boy. It's a rap for Corey. He's done. He's done with everything that he's been accused of. With him, like he should have never, bro. He opened this door the moment he decided to talk trash about a minor.
That's a weak argument. Anton is talking crazy about many minors. In fact, he's been on camera saying, fuck the kids. Fuck them kids. And on top of that, Anton, he's talked about Zaya, who is a minor, mind you, Dwayne Wade's son / daughter thing that I seen everybody talked about. By the way, that Transformer, Zaya's a minor. But, you know, anyways, that's a bit of a weak argument, but let's continue on.
The moment he decided to talk trash about Anton's underage daughter, to the degree that he even talked about
wait, what?
Sexual thing, it's a wrap.
Whoa, no, that's first of all, that's false. He didn't talk about nothing sexual when it came to Anton's daughter. That is false. Okay, Angry Man, you gotta go. You gotta go, bro. All he said that the bitch was ugly, which is still mean, but he didn't talk about no sex or sexual things with Anton's daughter. Let's not do that. Let's not lie. let's not lie to the public. Let's not do that.
Bro, that with talking about the wife with the t-shirt, with the video of him hitting the woman, and now this video that just came out, bruh, this video that just came out, fam.
When I was in Iceland, hey, you don't have to be 18. I think it was 13, maybe 14.
Yeah.
That's the vagina been on this planet 14 years. I've said this before on the show also. Do you know if a woman 16 years old gives you a baby, that is going to be 16, 17, 18, 19. That is going to be one of the healthiest babies possible.
This is facts. This is fact. This is just simple biology. This is simple biology.
That age, they've been on the planet long enough. They're in their prime developmental wise to create a life.
Just saying, in America, most people only know what they know in America, but I've been to other countries, and in Iceland, I think the legal age to get with a girl is 13 years old. It blows people around when they hear it. But in Iceland, I'll tell you, it's not criminal.
Now, I don't know why they're bringing up this clip. This clip, everybody already knows about this clip. That was that one was more of a joke than the first one.
He's a normal guy in Iceland. I went to Iceland. You just can't offer him money and gifts, and I thought that was so unfair that you couldn't give him nothing after you was done with him.
Now, that part, he's not talking about underage bitches. He's just talking about hoes in general in Iceland after that part. That's just him being autistic right there.
It's still crazy. I'm not going to Iceland. So I assume you've been to Iceland. You took advantage of the laws. Is that what you're saying? I had a great time in Iceland.
Guys, that's a joke. That's a joke. People already know about that clip. People already know about that clip. Like you can see it's on Big Boy TV. It's on Big Boy TV's channel. Nobody was even tripping over that joke during that time. So I don't even know why that's being brought up. But like I said, they're gonna show all these clips to make it seem like that Corey Holcomb is a predator. Oh, so those are the only two clips he had? Okay.
This who y'all defending?
Yeah, Angry Man. Angry Man has lost the plot. Angry Man has completely lost the plot. I can't believe this. Angry Man, I cannot believe this. I'm sorry. Look, I'll say this. I can't believe I can't believe I'm gonna have to say this, but I'm disavowing any relations to Angry Man channel. I can't give him credit no more. I'm sorry. No more Angry Man credit on this channel. I'm sorry. No more Angry Man. No more credit for Angry Man. This is lazy research. This is lazy research. So he only has that one Facebook reel that's gone viral from an old live stream. And then he has a Big Boy TV interview, a clip from a Big Boy TV interview that nobody was tripping over at the time. This was from like, what, 10, 12 years ago, that joke? This is about 12 years, like 10 to 12 years ago, that joke. Yeah, I think, 12 years. 12 years ago when he did that interview with Big Boy TV. That's what he brought up. He was clearly joking. He was clearly joking. So I guess that was the joke that somebody was talking about earlier on in the chat. Because I was like, what other time did he talk about this? So I guess that's the clip that you're talking about. That was from Big Boy TV in like 2012, 2013. And nobody was tripping off that. Nobody. I'm talking about none of the women, none of the men. There were women on that panel when he made that joke. This is sad. This is the evidence that Angry Man is using, that man, Corey's done. He's finito. Angry Man, I can't rock with this. Angry Man, I can't rock with you anymore, bro. Especially if you are a person, especially if you are a black man and you're trying to make another black man a predator, and this is the stuff that you complain about bitches doing to y'all, I'm gonna have to start rethinking some of my female takes. I can't believe I'm saying this right now, but I might have to rethink some of my takes when these people are complaining about women not respecting them, their wives not respecting them. I might have to I might have to do a redo on some of these takes, because I think some of these women that y'all complain about, I think they can see the hater in you. They can see the how do I say it? They can see your insecurities. Now, they're not supposed to use it against you, but I think a lot of you got to be honest. A lot of these dudes out here, they're always complaining about women not respecting them, but are your actions congruent? Right? I talk about this with the white male conservatives, how their white female daughters, they always tend to be liberal, right? But I'm like, is it always the white female daughter's fault that she becomes indoctrinated that easily? Maybe the dad isn't being congruent with their beliefs. All these, these female liberals that you see on college campus, most of them, they came from conservative. I'm not gonna say most, but a lot of them came from conservative households, particularly with a conservative dad. And then now they're a little bit different. I'm like, is it always the woman's fault? Because right now, I'm looking at Angry Man, he's clearly hating. And then on top of that, he's using 2 clips that he did no research on. I'm talking about zero research. He's using, I'm not even just talking about the first reel. I'm talking about the second reel. That's from 12 years ago on Big Boy TV's interview where everybody knew he was joking. So what? He's trying to make a connection. Oh, the Iceland. Look at the Iceland joke. People, he's been doing that Iceland joke for years, bro. This is what people tripping over. This is the evidence to show that Corey is a predator. And then these are the same. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to diss Angry Man here. I'm gonna have to so you, and then these are the people, they can't fathom why the female libtards think people have a weird allegiance to Orange Man, and you're already willing to call Corey Holcomb a predator off of 2 out of context clips. This is hate. This is hate. If somebody came out with 2 clips with Orange Man saying the same exact things, he would not call Orange Man a predator. Why are you so quick to call Corey Holcomb a predator? It's hate. It's hate. It is hate. I'm sorry. It's hate. Because he would not say this about Orange Man. What's your allegiance to Orange Man? You have more in common with Corey than Orange Man. I'm sorry. It's hate, and people might disagree with me. And like I said, I'm not saying don't, stop. Like, I'm not saying don't watch Angry Man channel no more, but I'm just saying, me personally, I can't rock with that. I can't rock with Angry Man anymore. He owes Corey a public apology. You can't be calling people predators or trying to put it out there like he is this is not a, nah, you can't do that. Because if Orange Man had similar clips, you would not do that. You would say how, these people are libtards, these people are liberals and all this stuff. And you already trying to put that jacket on Corey. Nah, and he's going to be like, well, I didn't see. No, we see what you're trying to do. Let me see what we got in the chat. Let me see what we got in the chat. He said, are you saying these ops are talking ish about Corey with a smile on their face? Of course. Like I said, even me saying, like, I've said in public, like, Corey Holcomb's the greatest comedian ever. And people are always like shocked when I say this. Or I just have an opinion on that. Like I said, Corey Holcomb, he has a rep with his comedy. It's they won't admit that it's the abortion jokes, it's the single mammy jokes, it's the down low ninja jokes. Now, I don't know if Angry Man, maybe I don't know, so maybe I'm missing something with Angry Man, but clearly Angry Man has a loyalty towards an Anton Daniels more than a Corey Holcomb. And there's nothing wrong with that, but don't let your loyalties OD just like, wait, I'm talking about you're willing to put a predator jacket on somebody and you would have never done that to Orange Man. I think that's very irresponsible. Ellis is here saying, meanwhile, Candace has over 100K in the chat at any given time. Ticket tripping. I agree. And I'm gonna be a little bit more respectful with Ticket TV, but yeah, he is tripping. He's tripping. I'm like, Candace Owens, she ain't gonna be done. Come, guys. Candace, how many subscribers do Candace Owens got? And mind you, I'm not even an OD fan of hers like that, but I'm just being real. And she is a grifter. Candace Owens is a grifter, but I gotta be real here. I gotta be real. Yeah, 5.7 million subscribers. Remember, she's a black female. It's gonna take a lot for her to quote unquote get canceled. And she's not always dropping clips all the time like she does. You know what I mean? But her viewer retention, people, like her 1 million subscribers, it's legit. It's she has legit subscribers, man. She has a following. Candace Owens has a following, bro. And mind you, she could be a coon, she could be all of that, but she, like, her, the proof is in the pudding. Like, her viewership is legit. You know what I mean? So I don't know what Ticket TV talking about, man. George Thomas. Oh yeah, he said O'Shea debunked this. So O'Shea he still came to Corey Holcomb's defense. Well, at the end of the day, you can't just put that predator jacket on anybody. That's just irresponsible. So now I'm starting to understand why now I'm starting to get why now why the women are like, wait a minute. So you're willing to call this man a predator, but you have a loyalty towards Orange Man, a politician at the end of the day, a politician. But you see two clips. One clip is out of context, and then one is from an interview that he did with Big Boy TV. Anybody can look this up. Nobody was tripping on it then. It was clearly a joke. And these are the pieces of evidence that he uses. Corey Holcomb's done, man. He's finito. The fuck? And if it wasn't for people like Corey Holcomb, these people would not, like, all these people in this so-called manosphere. Most of these people's talking points are from people like Corey Holcomb, from people like Zoe Williams. Guys, these are people that are outside of the manosphere or in the red pill space. They would not have their talking points without Patrice O'Neal and these people. No, they know him. No, Pyro. So Pyro says, so people don't know Corey at all, but love talking about him. No, they know him. They know him. They just want to play dumb. They just want to play dumb. They know exactly who he is. As soon as I mention Corey Holcomb in any level, and I'm talking about in public, they know exactly who I'm talking about. They just they just can't talk good about him because they don't want to look bad in front of the hoes. That's what it is. Let's keep it a buck. They don't want to look bad in front of the hoes, no matter how old those guys are too. They don't want to look bad in front of their wife, the hoes, whatever. In Too Deep says, biologically, the healthiest age to have children is between 25 and 29 years old, offering the lowest risk for pregnancy and postpartum complications. Well, he was just going off with the just straight biology. Look where all the best athletes, where are they from? All the best athletes, especially when you're talking about the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, Africa, or melanated people in general. And they tended, back in the day, young black women tended to have kids when they were a little bit younger. It's no coincidence that you had a guy like a LeBron James, right? It's just, look, it's uncomfortable biology. Like, me personally, obviously, if I had a daughter, I don't want her to get pregnant at 17, 18 years old. I would want her to find a guy somewhere around, 20, 24 years old. No, nothing past 25. Hopefully she finds a guy between 20 and 25 years old, so she can have, and then she'll have like a couple of kids by age 24, 25, 26. That would be a dream scenario for me, right? If I had a daughter. But like I said, biology is biology. In other countries, these broads, they be getting pregnant at like 15, 16, and then they'll have or in Saudi Arabia, they have these arranged situations, which I don't condone it, but they have their ways of doing things. They have their ways of doing things. It's not up to me to say, okay, I'm American. They're from wherever. They're norm is not our norm. So we can't be too quick to judge. We can't, we gotta, because we're the same type of dudes. We'll complain about, bitches waiting too long. That's because we have it the complete opposite over here. So there's pros and cons to everything. There's pros and cons to everything. You see, who's worse, Angry Man or Willie D? Oh, what you said? Oh, you said Willie D. What, Willie D reprimanded Corey? Don't tell me. Don't tell me. No. I gotta look this up. Don't tell me Willie D fell for it. He should know better. Oh no. Don't tell me Willie D fell for it. Oh my God, don't tell me. Let me see. Willie D. I gotta look at his channel. Don't tell me. Cause Willie D, he already has 1 million subscribers. He doesn't need to. And man, that I'll say this. I'll say this. If what you're saying is true about Willie D, disavowing Corey, that's gonna really hurt Corey's feelings. I will say that would hurt Corey's feelings because he's had Willie D on the show. Corey has openly told Willie D to his face, "Look, I looked up to you when I was, younger." That I gotta really have a confirmation for this. Nah, there's no way. There's no way Willie D folded. Somebody said he's trying to kiss up to Harvey. Hope not. In Too Deep said, never trust a man that dyes their beards or hair. Well, at least Corey Holcomb admits it. He's the only person that'll admit it. He'd be like, look, man, I be dyeing my beard. He said if my hair, he one of his biggest jokes is if I don't dye my hair and beard, I'm gonna be out here looking like Frederick Douglass. Oh man. Salute to the Unwelcome Party. Shout out to the Unwelcome Party in the chat. There's somebody needs to confirm this to me. There's no way Willie D folded. He said because In Too Deep is saying that Willie D went soft for the ladies because they spend hella Skrilla. Nah, there's no way. Damn, there's no way. I gotta see, like, say I'm gonna need to confirm it, meaning I need to see Corey Holcomb say on the show, man, because they've done plenty of collabs together, like they've done a lot of collaborations together in the past, and Corey's been open about the respect that he has for Willie D. So if this is true, if what you're saying is true, that is really gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt Corey's feelings. I'm not even gonna hold you. That's gonna definitely hurt Corey's feelings. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna disavow Willie D, but I am very disappointed if this is true. If I'm very he doesn't seem like the type to fold that easily. Damn. Because now see the Unwelcome Party said Willie D is definitely a sim. Oh yeah, he is soft for the ladies. I do agree with that, but like I said, Corey Holcomb is in a rough spot right now. He's really seeing who his true friends are, his true supporters. Because I'm not a friend, but I am definitely a huge supporter of his work. The message that he is giving to the masses. I remember a preacher had asked me, it was after I did a gig. It was it was right after a church service. I was subbing in for somebody. This was in August. And he asked me something. He was like, Chris, where do you get your what did he say? Your spiritual where do you get your what did he say? he said, so Chris, you say you don't have a church. Why? He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I don't really have a church. And he goes, so where do you get your spiritual, what's your spiritual feeding ground? He said something like, what's your center, whatever. What's your spiritual base? Where do you get your spiritual, feeding from, whatever? And like in my mind, I remember making this joke on the channel. I was like, in my mind, I almost said a hammer hand. I almost said hammer hand, but I really thought about it. I'm like, you know what? Low key Corey Holcomb. You know what I mean? Like, this is where I get these guys are the modern day, philosophers, pastors, even, really, because none of the pastors can be trusted at all. Basically 90+% of these pastors cannot be trusted in America, right? Most of them are on the hustle. I won't say 90%. I'll say 80%. I'll say 80+% of pastors can't be trusted. So really, the only pastors that I can say, okay, this is a pastor, is Corey Holcomb. But he's a comedian. No, well, he gives a lot. He gives a lot of game out there. I'm talking about free game. And when time comes, when it comes to support, you put something in that collection plate. You know what I mean? You go into the super chats and you give what you can in that collection plate. But I didn't want to say that. You know what I mean? Where do you get your spiritual nourishment from? Right? What's your church? And I say Corey Holcomb. Nah, you're not gonna invite me back. Oh man. But anywho. Because I'll never forget when that guy asked me that. Like, I don't know if he was like he wasn't the pastor. I think he was the head deacon or whatever, because he did like all the announcements, all the he did all the stuff in the church, basically as the not as the pastor, but as the lieutenant or something like that. I don't know what the correct term is, but he was running all of that, right? He was like the Thomas Jefferson of the church, if that makes sense, right? And he was, so Chris, where do you get your Loki? I was thinking about, and then I was just my immediate reaction was seeing Hammerhand and him holding up his Bible. That's like the first person I thought of for some weird reason. I don't know why, but then I really started thinking. I'm like, actually, it's Corey Holcomb, but I didn't say anything. I was like, well, I do what I do. I just immediately thought of Hammerhand holding his Bible. It was just funny to me. But anyways. He said, when shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? Kendrick Lamar, Mortal Man. Oh yeah, that's from To Pimp a Butterfly, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, that's from To Pimp a Butterfly. By the way, that album, To Pimp a Butterfly. So when I was on tour with the Canadian jazz band, I asked them, so we had a conversation. We were like, so what is the best album you've ever heard? Right? These dudes, they really shocked me with their answers, bro. All of them said that To Pimp a Butterfly is the best hip hop album they've ever heard. I shit you, mind you, these are Canadians. That's what they said. To Pimp a Butterfly is the best hip hop album they've ever heard, and they said it really influenced them into joining jazz. And sometimes I'll be forgetting, like, Canada's music scene is a little bit different, right? It's a little bit different. But I was shocked, and then I remember the bass player. He told me, he said the best album sonically that he's ever heard was D'Angelo's album in 2014, the Untitled. Oh no, not Untitled. It's called The Black Messiah. The Black Messiah. He said that was the best album he's ever heard. But they all said the best rap album they ever heard was To Pimp a Butterfly. I was like, I'm like, there's no way. But I re-listened to Pimp a Butterfly, and I get it. I completely get it. Imagine if you haven't really listened to hip hop, and then your first introduction to hip hop is a Kendrick Lamar album, or you didn't really listen to hip hop that deeply until you started listening to a Kendrick Lamar album, and you listen to Pimp a Butterfly. I get it. I completely get it. I completely get it. Like, there was a lot of deep songs on it, and then on top of that, Thundercat was doing a lot of the bass. Thundercat did a lot of work on that album, didn't he? How many tracks did Thundercat do on that album? Let me do how many tracks did Thundercat have on Thundercat work on To Pimp a Butterfly? Yeah, they're saying, they said Thundercat. He did like, 9. They said he did 9 of the 16 tracks as a bassist, vocalist, or producer. Yeah, he did a lot of work on that album. So yeah, I get it. I completely get it. Thundercat was killing it on that album. So like, yeah, if I'm a Canadian dude and I'm just being introduced to jazz or the hip hop jazz scene, and then I listen to Pimp a Butterfly, I get it. I completely get it. So shout out to you for that reference, to Pimp a Butterfly reference. When shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? Mortal Man. That's the I think, that's the last track on To Pimp a Butterfly. Thank you for that reference. Oh man. Oh yeah. Pyro's explaining the name changes on his channel. But anyways. So apparently this is his his proof. I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. These people are simps, bro. Even the OGs are simps, man. It's crazy. So quick to put another black man down. So I'm talking about quick. So quick. But let any of the liberals talk anything about Orange Man, and he has stuff, like there's actual stuff on it. And these guys, particularly these black male content creators, they're only siding with Orange Man out of for clout purposes and for number purposes, because they feel like they only go with what's going to piss off black women the most. And that's not how I do things on this channel. If black women are gonna get called out, they're gonna get called out. If white women are gonna get called out, they're gonna get called out. But I'm starting to think that this whole Orange Man allegiance thing is just because it pisses off black women the most. And I don't mind that, but it's like it's a bit childish. But you're so quick to put that hat on Corey Holcomb. You're rejoicing, glee. You're foaming at the mouth of seeing Corey getting canceled over these 2 clips. This is wild work.
This is who y'all defending? Is this who y'all defending?
Yes, I am, Angry Man. Yes, I am.
That's my question. Is this who y'all defended? So this makes me go back to the conversation that him and Anton was having. Because if you remember.
Oh, Lord. So, yeah, I guess it's more of his allegiance to Anton Daniels. Good Lord. Shout out to Zero G. Shout out to the Warband members in the chat. Zero G said most normies don't correlate Thundercat with Kendrick. Well, like I said, I'm gonna give the normies a pass on that, because not most people are not really that in tune with the music to pick up, to pick up these things, But yeah, Thundercat is a hell of a bassist, and he was one of the main, like, in terms of the reason why the album sounded as good as it did was because, in my opinion, the production and the bass lines the bass playing of Thundercat. He's just on a different level, man. Anything Thundercat, Kendrick Lamar, anything that they collaborate on it's basically it's gold. You can bank it. It's gold. Pyro says, wait, is that the same Thundercat who made that Durag song sound hella funny? Yep, that's the same one. I love that song too, yo. I love that song. Oh man. I'ma hit it in my Durag. Don't you lie to me. I love that song, man. Man, that song is dope as hell. I'ma hit it in my Durag. Man, Thundercat, he got tracks. He does a lot of production work and he does a lot of, stage work, but his albums are great, bro. He's his projects. Oh my God, this guy he's off the chain. So Pyro said, didn't Kendrick make a song about the unfortunate end of a streetwalker? That was from Keisha song. That's from 20. That's a album he did in like 2011. Section 80. That's what the album was called. Section 80. That's another good album. I used to rock that album back in like 2013, 2012 ish. Because I started because Kendrick, he had a different name back then. He had because he used to just go off because I think he came in the game with K Dot as his name. Kate, like I know that's one of his monikers, but that was like his main stage name at one point. And then he switched it to, he made it Kendrick Lamar, right? But at first he was just going off. I think K Dot. Like if you look at like one of his initial mixtapes that he back in the day, like back in like 2010, 2009, it was like the artist's name would say K Dot on there. Because I remember he used to do tracks with K Dot used to do tracks with I remember he did a track with Janae. He did tracks with Janae Aiko. Janae Aiko used to do tracks with everybody back in the day. But yeah, Kendrick Lamar, Keisha song, that's off the Section 80 album. Let me look up something real quick. Let me look up something. Kendrick Lamar, K Dot. When did Kendrick? Okay, 2000. Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense. All right. So 2009 is when he made the switch from K Dot to, and then the history was made one day as K Dot announced on Twitter and that he had changed his name to Kendrick Lamar. Okay. So I was around. Oh, yeah. So I was about right. I was about right around that because I remember he used to call himself a different, he called himself K Dot and then he switched it to Kendrick Lamar later on. I remember one of my favorite K Dot songs was the song he jumped with he did a song with Gunplay. Let me see if I can find that song. Say K Dot featuring Gunplay. I used to love this song. Yeah, Cartoons and Cereal. That was one of my favorite songs. Or maybe he didn't did he call himself K Dot at the time? I don't remember. That was one of my favorite songs, bro. I think this came out in 2011 though, or 2012. 2011 or 2012. That was a long time. I probably can't remember. But that was one of my favorite Kendrick Lamar songs. Because the official song, let me see. K Dot, what did it? I would have sworn it came off the mixtape. Let me see. Mixtape. The C4. Let me see if I can see if we can get the track list. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, best rapper under 25. West Coast Wu Tang. I remember that track. But anyways, well, back in 2009, all I was listening to was like Lloyd Banks mixtapes and all that on Dat Piff, you know. But anyways, anyways, yeah, K. Dot, Kenny Valentino. That's yeah, that's if you're like a hype beast, you know about Kenny Valentino. I completely forgot about Kenny Valentino. Oh man, I completely forgot about that. So here's the thing. So In Too Deep says Kung Fu Kenny. So from the research I did about that, there were people saying that Kendrick stole Kung Fu Kenny from what's his name? Lupe. That's not necessarily the name, but the concept. A lot of the concepts from Damn, it was heavily influenced from Lupe Fiasco, but he didn't really give him his credit, according to the hype beasts. And when I did the side by side, I'm like, I see where they're coming from. But yeah, Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly, beautiful album, beautiful album. He said Pimp a Butterfly and yeah, Good Kid, Mad City has always been had a place in my heart. I don't know, like Good Kid, Mad City. That's just pure. That album is pure vibes. From my vantage point, that album is pure vibes, man. You could just go in a car and you could just play any track from Good Kid, Mad City, and it's beautiful. It's such a beautiful album. That is a beautiful album right there. Here's the thing. I haven't, there's a lot of, so let me tell you this, because I haven't really listened to a whole bunch of rap albums since 2020. Right. So there's a lot that I'm missing. So I used to listen to like everybody's mixtapes when I was a kid, but ever since I've been in the workforce, ever since I started doing my own music, it's been hard to keep up with everybody else, So I don't think I've listened to GNX yet. Let me see. I think I listened to the other one before. I think I listened to that album before GNX. Let me see. GNX. Yeah, I didn't listen to every track on GNX yet. I've listened to some. Basically all the mainstream ones. But I haven't listened to everything on GNX. I listened to the what's it? Let me see. Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, Mr. Morale. That's what it's called. Mr. Morale. I listened to everything on I listened to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I listened to that. I haven't listened to everything on GNX yet. I don't think I did. I don't think I did. But whoa. But anyways, yeah, that 2012 Good Kid, Mad City. Honestly, nothing compares. I really like that album. That was a very good album. Every track, every track, every track. But to pimp a butterfly, that's an underrated ass album in terms of historically. I never really thought about it in a historical perspective, but that might be one of the best albums of all time. It I got to give credit where credit is due.
He was trying to check Anton about his blackness. He was trying to check Anton about the code, right? So,
no, not necessarily. If you are a man, and Corey Holcomb asked him like, would you consider yourself a black man? And he said, "Oh, I'm a Christian first." Of course, that's gonna rub Corey Holcomb the wrong way, and for some reason I don't know what's wrong with these black conservatives nowadays. I think they've forgotten what a pro black really looks like what a classic pro black from the 90s, right? The 80s, but specifically the 90s. I think they forgot what that looks like. They think because a pro black from that time frame is criticizing a black conservative, they for some reason they automatically think that makes that person a liberal. That's just not true. It's just the pro blacks of the 90s or the the late 80s, 90s. These people grew up on NWA, Public Enemy, right? All these rebel without a cause, and all these things. This is what they grew up on. So they're not the pro blacks of the 90s or the late 80s. They're not married to a party. They think both parties are racist, right? They the white man is this, the white man is that. They don't believe in Democrat, Republican, none of that, right? So just because somebody's criticizing your stance does not make them a liberal. But I would have thought Angry Man would know this by now, But anyways.
Oh, he said to Anton, "Have you ever been to jail?" And
Angry Man is all over the place right now. He's all over the place. This is like two separate parts of that interaction. This was like when he mentioned the jail part, he was basically saying like, bro, you can't afford to talk the way how you talk around street ninjas or if you're around sketchy people in general, because he talks disrespectfully. And this is why he mentioned the jail part, because he's like, bro, clearly you're not operating in there's not a code that you're operating by. And no, he's not operating on a conservative code. He's just hustling. He's just hustling for money. I saw an old clip from Anton. He was talking crazy. Let me see if I can bring up, because I think that's just the type of person Anton is. He just doesn't he doesn't understand time and place. Hold on. Let's see. Anton Daniels courtside talking smack. It's like a video from 4 years ago, and he's talking smack to these NBA players courtside. I don't know if I can find that short. I don't know if I can find that short. But anyways, I'll leave that one alone. But he said, yeah, that's just I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I'm like, nigga, you in your late 40s, and you talking crazy to these young NBA athletes. Come on, man. I think that's something also we forget as men. Like, well, even me, mind you. Like, you'll be talking like how you talk to people around your age, and you'll look at somebody just because of their size, but you forget these are kids, right? When we're talking about these NBA athletes, these people be like 6'9", 6'8", 6. These guys are mutants, right? But the way we talk about these people, the way we criticize them, the way we heavily criticize them, we forget these people are kids. These are 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds, 19-year-olds. So when they see some of these old ninjas talking crazy to them, you forget, like, it's like in their mind, like, why is this OG talking crazy about me? You know? He said 2005 for me, but I will listen to few rappers. However, I am Gen X and don't relate to most of these rappers. So he said, so 2005, he kind of stopped listening to any of the new rap from 2005 on. I understand. But that was in 2005. That was the time, like, 2004, 2003, G Unit was basically taking over the world. Those were good times. Low key, those were good times. But anyways,
Anton said, no, have you been to jail? He's like, no, all I'm saying is certain type of dudes, they would have to teach you all over again. They would, you know what else dudes don't like in jail, Corey? You know what else dudes don't like in jail? You know what else is a violation in our culture? Grown men preying on children.
oh, so he cut that part. Oh Lord, he couldn't even finish it.
You just sat here and admitted that you go to another country, Iceland.
This is very irresponsible from Angry Man. This is very irresponsible.
Just so you could be able to engage with a 13-year-old. And it's not like
That's not what he said, but I'm gonna let him continue. Good Lord.
you just you talked about it twice. Because what y'all need to understand is one video is from his show where he's talking about it, but the other video is from him being on a radio show talking about it. And when he was on the radio show, he basically admitted the shit.
When he was on the radio show, he was saying it was clearly a joke. You cannot be this autistic. Oh my God. Mind you, if Orange Man had said anything similar, he would dismiss it the same way I'm dismissing it. So clear, like I'm saying, Angry Man, he's not a dumbass. He's not a dumbass. So I don't know why he's doing this. This is really disappointing.
He said the only thing is you can't give him money and gifts. And I felt bad because I couldn't give no money and gifts when I was done with him. What?
He was talking about the hoes in general. The hoes in general. And that's his shtick. That's his shtick. Every time he goes on a radio show, if he's promoting his comedy, he talks about the money that he's gonna give hoes. Like it's part of his shtick, man. I don't know why I gotta explain this, but anywho.
So what you saying is you took advantage of Iceland's laws. He said, I'm gonna just say I had a good time in Iceland. What? What?
This does Angry Man, does he understand how comedy works? That's part of the comedy, the timing. All I'm saying is I'm just that's the joke, bro. That's the joke. Mind you, these are this, like I said, these are the same, wannabe. I think a lot of these so-called black male conservatives, I don't even think they're conservatives. I think they only claim it so they can feel superior to their fellow black men. I'm starting to see this. You know what I mean? Or they think they're better than the average black male liberal. I'm starting to see this. Like, I don't understand. Like, that was clearly a joke. Clearly. And there's a reason why they're only showing the audio format of the interview. And there's a reason why he's showing the audio, because if you're just going off of the audio, of course, it might sound suspect. But if you saw the interview, like if you actually, what you can go on Big Boy TV, YouTube, Corey Holcomb, and you can literally see the whole interview from beginning to end. You'll see that he was clearly joking, right? But here he's trying to push a narrative to, the feeble-minded. That's not. I think that's very irresponsible of him for him to do something like this.
And I'm gonna tell y'all something too. It don't surprise me that there are dudes in these spaces that want to defend this type of character, because there's a lot of weirdos running around here. Now, I'm just gonna ask everybody watching. Okay, do y'all think I'm jumping to conclusions? Because
yes, sorry, Angry Man, but you're a retard. Yeah, I gotta do this because look, I called Andrew Wilson a retard. I gotta keep it a buck. I gotta keep it straight line. I called Andrew Wilson a retard. I gotta call you a retard. Yes, you are jumping to conclusions like a bitch. Like this is what bitches do. What you're doing right now. And you're what? How old is Angry Man? He's got to be what, like 50 something? He looks 50 something, no disrespect, but I'm just saying you're old enough to understand what a joke is. Are you telling me? Am I jumping to conclusions right? So right now, you sounding like a woman. Right now, you sound like a bitch. You can click. Yeah, I'll stand on it. I'll stand on it, brother. You sound like a bitch right now, respectfully and disrespectfully.
Look, I was scrolling. I had just watched the Darlene video last night.
So you admit that you did no research on this, and you're still. Am I jumping to conclusions yet? So you saying you're just scrolling and you just found the clips and then you just took that clip and put it on your video without doing any background research? What kind of hoe ass nigga are, bruh? Okay, bro, today, you know what this live stream was gonna be? This live stream was I was gonna talk about Jordy Pauline allegedly apologizing to Ty Lil for lying about her grape claims. That's what the live stream was going to be about today, because I saw it go viral, a clip of her saying sorry, but she never mentioned Ty Lil by name. So I was going to do a live stream about this today. Dude, it took me about 2 minutes to really do my background research. So I took a 2-minute research, and I went directly on Jordy Pauline's page. And on her page, it said, she said, no, I wasn't apologizing to Ty Lil. I'm still trying to sue him. I was apologizing to black men because I said something about black men that I regret, which she doesn't regret, but that changes the whole thing. She wasn't apologizing to Ty Lil. Most of these hoes, when it comes to these grape claims, they don't apologize for fake grape claims. So here I was about to do a whole live stream, and it just took me 2 minutes of research to be like, oh, never mind. Cancel. Scrap that. Let's focus on Cardi B and Corey Holcomb. Right? Exactly. He literally, Angry Man basically admits, look, I was just scrolling on Facebook and I just saw this clip, and you didn't look for context. That you a hater, bro. I'm sorry. Mind you, you think I already did a live stream about Jordy Pauline, so you already know what I think about hoes like Jordy Pauline. And I still had the decency to look at her page to see, did she really apologize to Ty Lil, or is this a clip taken out of context? And that was a clip taken out of context. She didn't apologize to Ty Lil. Hoes usually, they never really apologize for doing fake grape allegations. She's still, apparently according to her, apparently she's still trying to sue him or whatever. Right. But everybody ran with it on Twitter. I'm like, y'all didn't have to just check on her page. So that's what, before you even do anything, you got to do your do a little bit of background research, even if it's for the people you don't like. You got to do your background research before you make yourself look stupid. So he admits to being lazy. This is crazy. Let me rewind this real quick. This is crazy work.
Of character, because there's a lot of weirdos running around here. Now, I'm just going to ask everybody watching. Okay. Do y'all think I'm jumping to conclusions? Because look, I was scrolling. I had just watched the Darlene video last night, and I was scrolling through TikTok, and I came across that video. And let me be clear. I've never heard that video before, because I don't watch 5150 like that. I've never heard that video before. But
well, thank you for now giving context that you clearly don't watch the show. So why are you putting this out there? If you he needs to say this in the beginning. Look, I don't watch 5150 show. I don't watch this, but this is the clip that I saw. Let me know what you guys think about this clip. Now, that's still being irresponsible, but at least you put it in the beginning. Says this shit at the end. Good Lord.
when I heard that shit, I was like, hey, yo, this don't look good. Like, let's be clear. It already wouldn't look good if it was just that by itself. If it was
So it's that clip has been around for 3 or 4 years. So why wasn't it a big deal then? But it's a big deal now. So that's what what he just said is not true. He said just that clip by itself, even without this situation, it wouldn't look good. Nah, these clips have been around. The interview's been around for 12 years, and then that clip about what he was saying about Iceland and then the babies, that was from a live stream from 3 or 4 years ago. It's been sitting there. Nobody did anything then. So that's also false.
It's just that by itself, it wouldn't look good. But add that to everything that has led up to this. Add that shit to everything that has led up to this shit. But
well, to the normies, maybe. But like I said, it's only black people that I've seen going in on Corey Holcomb. It's only black people. Only black male content creators. You know, black female content creators, they're going to do what they do. These were the same people that were praising Cardi B for being a baby mama to a sexual deviant. So I don't really expect much from him. But to the black male content creators that are running with this is very irresponsible.
I said it again, bro. I'm going to keep saying it over and over. I don't know what it is about these internet spaces. Y'all always pick the wrong ones. You always do it. You always do it. You always pick the wrong ones.
You think Anton Daniels is the right one? You can't see that he's an agent or he has connections. Only a few people got that kind of connect.
Always. For some reason, y'all have a hatred for all of the normal dudes. All of the normal dudes that do what they supposed to do and function the way they supposed to function. Y'all hate them dudes. Y'all hate.
Who's to say Corey's not a normal functioning dude? And that's another point. So I'm gonna actually end it right here in this video from right here. I start to see why you'll even have hoes. They tend not to. They tend to disassociate with the average man, because one of the first videos I've ever made in 2022, when I started doing male content, right? Male related content, I said average thinking leads to average results, right? Here, Angry Man, you kind of expose why hoes probably might back away from you, because you're an average thinking type of dude, respectfully. You showed your averageness, your norminess. I have to do this from time to time. I have to fight off the norminess, right? I have to check myself most times. Trust me. This is not like, oh, I'm perfect, I'm above the normies. No, I have to check the normie within myself many times. Trust me, many times I got to check the normie in myself. But this is why bitches sometimes might tend to distance themselves from people like you. Here you are, admitting you did no research. You did the typical normie thing. You went with what the news tell you. You went with what the reels told you. This is why you'll have women will look at stuff. Women will look at guys like this, picking and choosing when to display their wrath, right? And you're just shocked that you'll have a woman, they'll be like, let me just try something different. let me try a little bit something different from normal. Yeah, maybe Angry Man's an agent. I don't know. I would have never thought. I would have never thought with Angry Man. I would have never thought. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to ride for his boy Anton Daniels, but like I said, association. Remember, you know, I'd be saying hoes. What I say, hoes, hoes of a feather flock together. I'd be saying that. So if you're friends with an agent and you're close, and that's your boy, I gotta question you as well. So, you know, yeah, he said you got to do your homework. Yeah, he admits that I didn't do any real research on this. I just took what Facebook gave me. I just took what the algorithm gave me. Good Lord. Into Deep says, I am a Libra and I know he is grifting and he panders for people to support the show too. Yeah, the more subscribers that I've seen, because Angry Man, he's been around for a while, but he's really blown up in the past, like, 3 years. He's finally getting, the subscriber count that he's been looking for. And, I don't know, some of these people, they act a little bit different when they start getting that number count a little bit up. But I'm gonna say this. I am gonna from this point on, I am suspect on any man that does content. I'm talking about I don't care what subject it is. I'm gonna be suspect of any man that says he is married, and when he does content, it's always like when he's doing the video, meaning he's doing the video content, it looks like he's doing it in a man cave. They're never doing their male content in like in their own. It doesn't look like they're doing it in their kitchen, and it doesn't look like they're doing it in their living room. It seems like they're always doing it in a man cave where they're doing it where the wife can't figure it out. Like the wife doesn't really know what he's was doing. From now on, every man with a wife that does male content, but it looks like he's doing it from a man cave, he's suspect. That's it. That's just gonna have to be one of my rules on this channel now. If you do content creation in any way, and you're married, and it looks like you're doing it from a man cave, that is suspect. Look, if I have, because you got these dudes, they'll man, this is my man cave. I'm like, bro, you got a whole house. What the fuck you talking about a man cave? My man cave is like, say if I owned a house, I don't need a man cave. The house is my man cave. But there's a lot of things. Most of these dudes can't be like, hey, look, I'm gonna do my content right here. The only time I need you to show up, I need my water filled. I need you to make some cookies. You come and make these cookies. Give me some water, and that's it. That's the only time you should be appearing on channel. This house is my man cave. This might be me being extreme, but I can't believe this stuff is coming out of Angry Man's mouth. Because if a liberal said this about Orange Man, he would call them out for being lazy and not doing their research. If I'm talking about any type of liberal, if a black woman said this about Orange Man, why are black male content creators, particularly black male conservative content creators, showing more loyalty to a politician than to one of the pioneers? You know what I mean? Like that's just crazy, man. That's just I don't know. But anyways. So he didn't even go in on Harvey Levin? That's interesting. That's a bit interesting. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Zero G says the norminess is just the programming we were born into. It's part of the game to initially make us all NPCs. I agree. Oh yeah, he would do the panels. Yeah, I used to see people be doing these panels with these broads, and I'm like, why are these people wasting their time? I'll even like that's one of the things that did turn me off from like guys like Anton. A lot of these people, Angry Man, they be doing these panels with these black broads, and I'm like, what are y'all doing? Look, I'll say this: I think a lot of the black dudes, they won't admit this, but they it's like their content is centered around trying to make black women act right. And maybe because, with my channel, I'm more of, look, I've accepted, women for who they are. And it's like now I'm trying to move on, with my life. You know what I'm saying? Trying to focus on what I'm good at, what I need to do, trying to get my money up, trying to be able to make my passion, to be able to monetize off my passion, or to monetize at what I'm good at when it comes to music, even though it's a dying industry, but that's what I'm good at. This is what I'm focused on. But it seems like a lot of these things or these panels, it's like it's all centered around trying to tell black women what to do, what they need to do. I'm kind of past that. I think those panels are a waste of time. No disrespect. LS is here, said angry man listened to Harvey Levin, the people's court attorney, and called it a day. Not good. So if this is true, this is like I said, these people are some irresponsible people, and they're if that's what you're saying, because Ticket TV, he called out Harvey Levin. He called him out, but I it's still a whole lot of people that haven't picked up on that. But everybody want to do think pieces on Corey Holcomb. It's crazy work. This is diabolical work. Yeah, in Too Deep, you're right. He says all married men have to be simps in the modern marriage life. Yeah, I'll say this, in today's age, there's no such thing as you're being red pill aware, or if you're a man that stands on your nuts and like you're like a real man, there's no way you're gonna be married for long. You're not gonna be married for long. If you're like a real man in today's married life, it's gonna be, that's gonna be hard. Zero G said there is no man cave. That's just simpletry. Tell the woman what it's about. Yeah, this whole man cave thing. I used to see stuff. I like, even growing up, I'm like, oh yeah, this is my man cave, and I'm like, you have a whole house. I'm like, aren't you paying like the mortgage and all this? I'm like, the man cave should be your house, but these people be in the garage, in the cold too, in the garage. See, single men versus married men. But look, I know a couple married dudes that have that actually know what they're meaning. They even with the laws, they're still staunch down. But if you are a married man, unfortunately, you're limited. Your freedom is very limited as a married man. Especially in America. Yeah, look, I would rather watch a Fresh and Fit show. I would rather watch a clip from the Fresh and Fit show or the whatever podcast than these panels that I'd be seeing. Like it's one of the biggest wastes of time that you will ever see. These basically another version of Clubhouse coming to YouTube. It's, oh my God, it's awful. And they're literally talking about nothing. It's basically black men and black women talking about absolutely nothing. He said panels are 100% waste of time. B-dubs will never listen on Mass to Change. This is why when I open it up on this show, no woman. What's the point? What's the point? Dude, I've had Reaper on, and I've had what's it, why am I blanking on my guy's name? Doug MPA. And mind you, they were disagreeing, but they still were able to come to some kind of middle ground. It was all good. If you keep it completely female free, it's complete. It's fine. we can deal with the women later later on in time. At the end of the day, if like this space, oh man, I'm gonna put some female. Nah, I'm not doing that. No way. What is there to say? You see, I'm saying that's the end of Angry Man's research for him to admit he didn't do any research. Yeah, it's just that's not good. That's so irresponsible from him. He said, plus I have seen and experienced more married women that cheat on their husbands. Yeah, same here. From my vantage point, it's more married women out there sneaking off on their husbands than the other way around. It's just the husbands that sneak off, they get put on blast, right? Everybody knows about it. She's making sure everybody knows that he cheated and blah blah blah, or she makes him guilty enough she makes him guilty enough for where he has to admit it. Right? Married women are, that's why like I even would do, like it'll be dudes, they'll bragging about smashing married women. That I don't even think that's a brag, because married women are some of the easiest women. They're probably the easiest women to sleep with in the market. Taken women are easier to get than single women. So I'll even see like these so-called Riz artists. They really think they're doing something. they'll brag about sleeping with married women or taking women. I'm like, bruh, that's, first of all, if you are a person that's sleeping with married women, you're putting your life on the line. You're really putting your life on the line there. That's number one. Because people are just taking it as, well, she's less likely to snitch on me or to try to be my main girl. She's not trying to whatever. But still, you're putting your life on the line, bro. I wouldn't do that. Or if you find out the broad is married, you need to leave that situation immediately. But those Riz artists, they be killing me. But yeah, you should see. Let me see. Let me see if I can scroll down at some of these YouTube search results. Because it's a lot of people trying to now they saw these clips and now they're trying to make Corey Holcomb look like a predator. It's the funniest thing. Oh yeah, Tim Black TV has been, sticking up for Corey Holcomb. It's the people that I would have never thought. How I'm like, Tim Black TV sticking up for oh yeah, the amazing Lucas. I'm like, how is this possible? I'm like, y'all, I'm sitting there like, y'all some hoe ass niggas, man. How you letting liberal dudes outman you in this department? The separated routine. Yeah, I'll say this, anybody, especially anybody that does music gigs in general, or gigs, or if you do music, these married broads be wilding. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Like when the video came out, Amazing Lucas was like, isn't this came from like 2 years ago. This is old news. I'm like, how is Amazing Lucas more dismissive of this than the so-called black male conservatives or the black male content creators? I couldn't believe it. Yeah, the Amazing Luke, Tim Black TV, these are liberals, if I'm not mistaken. How? And then Angry Man got nothing to say about Harvey Levin. What? What's going on, man? This is wild. This is wild. Oh yeah, shout out to Star Report. Shout out to Star Report. That's a real nigga right there. He understands he clearly understands what the game is. This is why he always has my support. And you know what's interesting, man? Shout out to Star, because when the video came out, You know what his stance was? You know what Star's stance was? Shout out to Star, man. I got respect for Star. And mind you, he lets people on the panel with differing opinions. It's fine. Star was like, Christina probably had it coming. Whatever happened to her, he said, I know how them light skinned bitches be. that was Star Report's stance. I'm like, you know what? Shout out to Star. Because he didn't go the route of, oh, whatever, innocence or guilty. He's just like, well, she probably had it coming. He said, I'm looking at Christina Payne, and I don't know. Women like her, they be asking for it. Yeah, I was like, shout out to Star. How many men are brave enough to say that in public? How many men are brave enough to say this? But when Orange, watch this though. Watch this. Okay, he said, yeah, Tim Black isn't a lib. Amazing Lucas is a lib. But I feel like Tim Black is more left leaning though. Am I subscribed to? Let me see. Am I subscribed to Tim Black? I feel like he's more left leaning, but anyways, I could be wrong about that. He's more, or he might. I think Tim Black might be more of a. He's more on the independent. He's more independent. He's more left leaning socially. That's what I meant. He's more left leaning socially. But yeah. Okay. So Amazing Lucas is a lib. Yeah, because Amazing Lucas, he always came across as a lib, but he didn't buy it. I'm like, how? I'm like, wow. Okay. Orange Man says anything similar, but these same black male conservatives will be like, oh, it's just the liberals trying to cancel him, and they're right. They're right about that. But it's like, why can't you come to defense of a fellow black man who's clearly being attacked? It's a clear attack on him. Because people play a lot of revisionist history, right? People forget Allen Iverson used to be attacked by the media, right? Terrell Owens, right? I'm mentioning these athletes, right? Muhammad Ali, right? These are people. And I'm blanking on other people's names, but people play a lot of revisionist history. There's a soccer player by the name of Neymar right now. And if anybody's familiar with the soccer player Neymar, you're going to see a lot of people. You might not, you don't have to follow my lead on this, but this is a very important example. Everybody is now reposting clips from Neymar saying how good he was, how beautiful he was. But when he was in his prime, when Neymar was in his prime, and he was doing what he was doing, he was getting hate from most of the soccer normie fan base. But now that he's older, his prime is over, he's basically semi-retired at this point, you're now seeing these so-called soccer heads talking about, oh, this guy inspired a generation and he was so loved by many. No. I remember what you got. Neymar was hated. Even from the people that thought he was good, he was still hated. So it's a lot of revisionist history. People wonder why history tends to repeat itself. People for some reason cannot pick up on when there's a witch hunt being done on a man. For some weird reason they can't pick it up. They can't pick like you'll have. I'm trying to think of another example in the media. Cat Williams. He's not a criminal. But I try to tell you guys, like guys like Cat Williams, unfortunately, he's always going to get arrested because unfortunately, Cat Williams saw the inner workings of what happens in Hollywood and he spoke up about it. So what happens is they can't, but nowadays they can't just outright kill you, even though they do. They still do that. They can't outright delete you. What they try to do is they try to it's like death by 1,000 because they try to get you into submission. So they harass you. They have people of the law enforcement make sure they got you on lookout. You got people in law enforcement paid off. So you always see how he's always getting arrested. They're always getting arrested. It's they're doing this so he can finally they can finally get him to submit for him to finally give it up. To finally give up the ghost. So they're just going to continue to harass Cat Williams for the rest of his career. That's how it's going to work. That's why you always see him. He gets arrested, but no convictions, right? He always got a mugshot, but no convictions. Nothing on his record. To make him so Pyro says, is it to make him off himself? Is whatever needs to be done. Whatever needs to be done. Is whatever needs to be done. Because you'll have people they'll get harassed by the people of the industry or whatever, and then they'll end up offing themselves, or they'll end up doing something happens to them, or they eventually go crazy. They eventually quote unquote go crazy, right? They get a stroke because of the stress. Death by 1,000 cuts. You know, continuing to wrestle you until you just admit you're like, oh, I'm done. I can't do this no more. But like for the life, I could always tell who's gonna get the most hate. I believe that's my gift. I can tell who's gonna get the most hate. It's so easy. It's you see it in with soccer right now. Vinicius Jr., Mbappe, right? It's too easy. It's too I already knew those two individuals were always gonna get hate, right? When Shannon Sharp did the interview with Cat Williams, yes, it helped him positively, but he unfortunately put himself on the hit list. Right? These are things like people, I don't know why people cannot pick this stuff up. But it's very easy in terms of the entertainment world. Or if you see a politician, he just dies out of nowhere, that's not by accident. But that's easy. It's just easy for me to pick up on that. But there's a lot of people, they're just going off of they're just going off of what everybody says, or they're just going off of their emotions. He said Mason Lucas was probably front row watching Bad Bunny. Look, I'm gonna say this about Bad Bunny, and people might be mad at me when I say this. I respect what he did at the Super Bowl, meaning I'm so happy he didn't do none of that fugazi-ish. You know what I'm talking about when it comes to Bad Bunny. You know, the cross dressing he be doing, the faggotry he be promoting. So shout out to Bad Bunny for he made it at least family friendly. So he didn't put none of that rainbow stuff on there. So I'm happy he didn't do that. Because I've told you what I thought about Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny, not only is he an industry plant, but he's all of that. Gay, undercover gay, all of that. He's all of that. But thankfully, he didn't do none of that fugazi-ish, and I'm happy he didn't do that. So that's why I didn't really have nothing to say about the performance, because I was sketchy. I'm like, oh, don't tell me he's gonna do that cross-dressing nonsense that he be, and he didn't do it. And I'm like, thank the good Lord he didn't do that. Thank you he didn't do that, because I'm like, bro, I'm like, kids are watching, don't do this. Like, don't do this, man. I'm like, you're gonna be making, I'm like, you're gonna make Latino, you're gonna make Latino, like particularly Latino men, you're gonna make Latino men look bad if you do this. So he didn't do none of the rainbow stuff. So shout out to him for putting his people first. He put his Latino community first, meaning he was like, look, I'm not gonna do none of the Fugazi ish. I'm not gonna let the lasting impression of a Latino man doing a concert at the Super Bowl of him doing gay shit. So shout out, I can respect him for doing that. I can respect him for putting that to the his Fugazi, his funny style stuff to the side, because he was thinking about the masculine image of the Latino man, right? So I can actually respect that. But other than that, I have nothing to say about the Bad Bunny Super Bowl commercial. Sorry, the Super Bowl halftime performance. But I think it was like, I think people were complaining about that it was in Spanish. But okay, right here. So Zero G Texas says, I agree, but why the F did they let a Spanish speaker sing for the American Super Bowl? Also, him repping the sugar cane plantation is wild. Yeah, I thought that was wild though. But here's the thing. It's too late. It's too late for that. Like, you see how we're trying to fix this whole why are we letting Spanish speaking this and bilingual this? It's too late. That's like I said, that's white people's fault. That's white people's fault. That's particularly white men's fault. They could have easily fixed this, but there are, unfortunately, white conservative males are too they're too focused on what black men are doing. And meanwhile, letting Hispanics in ad nauseum, letting Indians in ad nauseum, but harassing particularly the FBA black men. I mean, at this point, it's too late to rein in. You let all these Hispanic people in, let these people work literally pennies, pennies on the dollar. Like, it's too late to rein it in. It's too late, because obviously that's common sense. Why are we letting a Spanish speaker sing for the American Super Bowl? Of course, that makes sense, but it's too late. And I like because Zero G, you're a black man, so I get why you're complaining about it. But I'm saying, particularly if you're like an older white male, meaning if you're Gen X and older, I don't want to hear it, because they just you basically let this happen. You let this happen. Same with, when you'll have Italy complaining about immigration, they let this happen. They will never hold accountable the CEOs, the white male CEOs, the small hat CEOs, right? The European small hat CEOs, for letting this happen, letting Hispanic people coming, letting Hispanic people work on the job, and they can't speak a lick of English. This has been going on for way too long. So to rein it in now, it's too late. It's too late. We're just gonna have to accept the consequences of doing that. But they're just, like I said, if they took a fraction of the focus as they did, I wonder what these ninjas are doing, even though they're only 6% of the population. If white male conservatives or white male politicians or whatever influencers of the time, because we've always had influencers, right? If they took a fraction of the focus that they did, focusing on what 6% of the population are doing, and they took that and actually focus on, look, we got to make sure if we do have Hispanic people coming in, they have to speak English. If they took a fraction of that, this would not be a problem. But they were cool with the Hispanics taking over. They're cool with the Indians taking over. Now they're complaining that the Indians are taking over. I mean, bruh. now they got all these. We got Pakistani, we got Bangladesh, we got all these people here, and they're like, "How did this happen? You could have stopped this from happening." But they will never hold the CEOs, the people that are actually making these financial decisions, not putting the American working man first, and having the American public squabble over nonsense like race, whatever, politics, Democrat, Republican. If they took a vote and actually focused on putting the average American male first, this would not be a problem. So it's too late. So I'm not like, this is why I don't even complain about that stuff no more. All this time I be looking at these job application requirements. I'm like, why is bilingual? I'm like, is this even fair? I was like 18 when I used to look at it. I'm like, how's this fair where okay, so the guy is bilingual because he can speak English and Spanish. He's gonna get priority over me or the average black man. You're just like, the fuck? Or even the average young white male. How's that fair? But people are they were okay with it. But yeah, Zero G says, true. They rather let Paco cut the grass and pick the grapes instead of hiring any Americans at all. Like, it's not even a black and white on that. Like, they could hire a kid on the block, or Americans. They could hire a regular American male, white or black or brown, and they could have just stuck with that. But they're cool with these people because they're working for less money. Even if they don't speak a lick of English, they're okay with that because, oh, it's cheaper. So let me reread Zero G's comment though. He says, true, they rather let Paco cut the grass and pick the grapes instead of hiring any Americans at all. I've always been English in America as the standard, but of course they call me racist for it. Or if you go to other countries, even if you decide to live in another country, you got to speak their language. But America has always they were cool with this. This is what America wanted. This is why I don't even like. I don't even like it when it would be malpractice for me to blame Hispanic people for this. That's just my opinion. I think that's just malpractice, because if the public is just going to let you be in America or be in these countries for all this time and not speak English, I mean, if I don't have to, like, if I'm moving to a country and I don't have to learn the native language, I'm probably not going to learn the native language as well. You're just going to have to hope out of the goodness of their heart they learn the language. Anyways, oh shoot, did a Corey Holcomb show start? Did it start? Hold on, let me. I gotta look at Corey Holcomb's page real quick. Let me not lose sight. Let me. Oh shoot! Scheduled for 11:30. Okay, we're good. I panicked for a second. I panicked. You know what? I'll say this. You know what would be funny, guys? You know what would be funny? All that caping these niggas did for Darlene. That would be hilarious if Darlene is right where she was last week. That would be the funniest thing ever. If Darlene is right back at where she's at. I'm telling you, that would be the funniest thing. All these people, like, if you go on YouTube right now, the simping. Let me see if I can bring up this. Yeah, look at this. Poetic, yeah, you got Poetic Flacco. He is done and all this stuff. Corey Holcomb just made a big mistake and all this stuff. Corey Holcomb's reached a point of no return. Corey Holcomb PDF allegations. Right. This is wild. They're saying those clips where he's basically making jokes, specifically with the Big Boy TV clip. They're saying this is like, guys, I don't think people understand how court works. You can't, that's not how you can't just use something off the internet and just be like, this guy, these are PDF allegations, you got to ring him up. No, that's not how this works. Good Lord. Yeah, they want to put things popping with civil divide. Yeah, the AI bubble. Most Americans are jobless. What happened with Darlene? He said Corey has 587 people in the chat. But yeah, with Darlene, because I went over it in the beginning of the show. You know, in the last episode, he asked Darlene to hold up his shirt. She refused. And he was like, shit, fuck it. I'll get somebody else to do it then. Right? And Darlene kind of like, I think she walked out. If I'm not mistaken, I would have sworn she had walked out a little bit earlier than usual, and then she didn't return for the freestyle that they usually do. And then in the freestyle, Corey Holcomb addressed Darlene, right? And the freestyle was basically almost the whole freestyle was directed at Darlene. But this was building up because the previous week, when Corey Holcomb had the defense show, when he had people come on the show to defend Corey's name, it came time for Darlene to defend Corey's name, and she took the political route and didn't take Corey's side, right? So it's been building up ever since then. But my opinion on this is this: I don't care if Darlene's there or not. I really don't care. She is very replaceable, but the simps are trying to feast on Corey's alleged downfall. So they see that Corey's quote unquote struggling. They're trying to feast. The vultures are in full force. Right. He said, Zero G said, oh, so did the hoe quit or did she get fired? I don't care. And then Darlene dropped a video on her YouTube channel and she called it misplaced anger. So that's the video I reviewed earlier on in the live stream. Very passive aggressive, but I don't care. But it would be funny after all the simping that all these men did if she's right back where she's at. That would be the funniest thing ever. And I was saying earlier in the stream, like, people don't understand what loyalty really is. It's easy to be loyal to something when you really have no place else to go. And that's something I've said about Darlene for years on this channel. Reaper can attest to this. Reaper Rel can attest to this. I've said this for years on this channel. Darlene, I mean, she might seem loyal, but that's because she literally has nowhere else to go. But she said she has a YouTube channel. She's starting to get her YouTube channel popping, you know. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But women like Darlene, or people like, I'll say women like Darlene, they're replaceable. You know, and you know what would be funny if, you know, because Corey Holcomb's been basically shooting his shot at Mika ever since the situation. Mika from Anton Daniels' channel. If Mika was here, say if he had Mika on the platform, after all of this, I'd be like, all of y'all niggas need to bow down. No homo. None these whole these. I'm about to say if Mika was the one that replaced Darlene. Like if we just appear here and then Mika is the new co-host, bruh. After I'm talking about after all of this, and these dudes can't even get their host to cook and clean for them. Dudes is complaining that their host can't even get their host to compliment them, and he's able to get a bad bitch to replace Darlene after telling Darlene, "I'll just replace you with another bitch." That would be some real player ish right there if he was able to do that. But the show, like sometimes Darlene, she can't make every show, but the shows that she's not there, the shows go along a lot more smoother because she's very slow. No disrespect. Exactly. Coco got Coco got her man. Facts. So look, and yo, if the people that, because I watched every single live stream, Corey Holcomb has tried to put Darlene on so much game, but she just don't want to hear it. She don't want to hear it. Corey Holcomb would literally say like every other week, look, if you've been in a relationship for umpteenth years and the man still didn't put a ring on it, maybe the problem is you. And then for some, I don't know, like when you try to put holes on game, they feel like, oh, he's not really talking about me. But Corey Holcomb has tried to put Darlene on so much game, especially when it comes to her past relationships, her current relationships. But that's the stuff that they're not even going to talk about. They're just going to act like that Corey was this abusive, co-host. But he put Darlene on so much game. It's only until that Darlene's going to be like 80 years old, she's going to realize, you know what? Corey Holcomb was actually trying to put me on some game. Zero G says, I got you. The correct mentality is that hoes should be replaced, especially if they ain't loyal, but loyalty is a rare HOF badge from the get-go. Like, it's particularly from women. Women are not, people don't understand. Women are not naturally. It's not natural for a woman to be 100% loyal. Meaning naturally loyal. It's in it just when you talk about biology wise, all the loyal women, they got wiped out of existence. So any woman that is alive today, they're not. It was either back in the day, what an undead chronic called it, the Unga de Bunga days, right? Unga de Bunga, right? If they didn't lay down, once the invading tribe comes in, they kill all the men. And if the hoes are not down with the program, they get deleted as well. So they have a choice to make, right? It's rare that you'll find a story. Like, I remember there was a story in like Ethiopia where it was a tribe it was a tribe that came in and they invaded another tribe, and then that tribe of women that got invaded, when their men died, the women deleted themselves. The women deleted themselves because they knew they were going to get raped. So they deleted themselves. They didn't even want to know. So that's what happens to loyal women. They get wiped out from existence. It was a story. It was in one of these countries in Africa, but I would have sworn it was Ethiopia. It was a warring tribe that came in, and then the women, they all deleted themselves. Oh, 5150 show about to start. The music just started. The music just started. 5150 show about to start. But this is, look, yo, this is what it is, man. So to find like a loyal woman, It's very. You heard the music, right? Yeah, you heard the music. Because I had the volume up. My bad. But it's very rare, very rare. I'm talking about rare, 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 rare. Like it's already rare for a woman not to put her man on child support, meaning like the man already has a job and he's doing what he's supposed to do. It's rare. But anyways, I got to sign off. 5150 show about to commence. I cannot miss the beginning. I can't miss the beginning. Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I got to end the stream prematurely again, but 5150 show is about to commence. I invite you to watch the Corey Holcomb 5150 show right now. Please tune in. Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for watching.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming and you were at your wit's end? That is my point of view.